Yo, people, welcome back to the Big Six, another live show for you tonight. Obviously, in between the World Cup games, the round of 16 going into the quarterfinals, which every single quarterfinal will be getting covered by the mob in this next couple of days and all the way to the final. But listen, I'm just hosting temporarily, so don't kick up a fuss. Turkish will be here soon. He's getting food. I don't know what type of food it is, but it's food. We got Tobes in the building, GRIZZ, Steve, and Liban, special guest, brother, coming in for Saeed. How you doing, brother? You good?
I'm good, man. Pleasure to be here, man.
It's a pleasure to have you on, brother. Is this your debut on this? No, it's not, is it? No, it's not.
It's not on the Big Six, but on the stream, yeah, definitely.
Yes, because you was on the mob.
He's on the mob
versus Arsenal. Yeah,
He was on the first ever mob.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's mad. Big up everybody in the chat. Obviously, we've had a bit of breaking news over the last couple of hours for both Arsenal in some degree and also Chelsea and Man United. Liban, I'll start with you, brother. Andre Santos, new signing. How are we feeling?
Caught me off guard. I can't lie. Caught me by surprise. I didn't see that one coming. I know there was interest last summer, but you always hear names come and go with Man United. But I'll be real with you. I'm not overly gassed. I understand the signing, given the age, given the potential that's there. He is a decent player from what we've seen of him at Chelsea. But I mean, at Man United right now, there's a lot of fans are disgruntled, obviously, because there aren't the names. We're not getting the names that we want, like the Chouameni's, for example. But if you look at this deal objectively, for the price, for the age, and what he can potentially become, it is a good deal. But from a personal level, it doesn't move me. It's not a needle mover of a signing. So I don't know, man. I mean, we'll give the boy a chance, of course. He can be a top player, but yeah, I'm feeling a little bit underwhelmed. I can't lie.
Steve, what's your rival take on it?
Exactly. Listen, the Reds are going to go on and say I'm hating, but they've been down this potential route before. Signed Lenny Yoro, Joshua Zirkzee, Rasmus Højlund. You know what I mean? Jadon Sancho. They signed all these great potential players that have not got great potential. They all end up either going on a free transfer or being loaned out after a season. You know, they went last season down the Prem proven route in Buemo Cunha. But like I've always said, I think my standards for Man United Football Club are a lot higher than half of the fans these days. I grew up with a different era, so I look at them and expect a certain level of player. People like Saeed and that are getting gassed up by this kind of signing. I mean, it proves to the point that you, as a Chelsea fan, and not even asked one bit that he's gone to Manchester United. I don't think any Chelsea fan is.
No, I'm asked. I'm asked.
He's not a needle mover. He's a body. Edison's a body. We're waiting for the big signing. We're waiting for the Carrick ball. We're waiting for this next Ineos era. We're waiting for the Ineos era to kick off. You know what I mean? It's every season's the same. But they just don't listen to me when I tell them. The skin. They've got no dough. And the transfer budget shit. And Ineos keep feeding them lies. Keep reeling out these circus tent videos and telling them they're going to get this stadium in 10 years and that. And these lot are like gremlins now. They're lapping it up. It's like throwing a chicken leg in a gremlin box at 12 o'clock. They're eating it all good. Well, I feel like if you step back.
Steve's really trying to rage bait. It's his rage bait.
This is rage bait. I've consistently said this a long time. Saeed will be in the car park beginning of the season telling everyone that you're going to win the league. Andre Santos will be player of the season. And this is how it's going to go. And then by Christmas, it'll be Carrick out and he'll be offering out Santos in the car park for a straightener. So listen, I've predicted it now. Save it.
Nah, do you know what it is? Like, look, at the end of the day, I'm probably a bit more grounded. I accept that we are probably not we don't have the financial strength and power that Man City currently have. We can't compete with you, especially when you look at the Anderson deal. We can't compete. We know that, right? But if you look at the strategy last summer in terms of the players that we signed and the structured deals that we put in place, that is the strategy that Ineos has gone for. Last summer, it worked. The signing, you could say that every single signing last summer was a hit. So I think it's fair to give Ineos a little bit leeway. I'm not that biggest fan.
It was a hit. You had one game a week. Yeah, you finished third and you didn't win anything.
Yeah, but look at it from objectively, Steve. Yeah, what was our objective? We already knew in coming into the season we're going to play one game a week. That we already knew that. A lot of people had, and let's be honest, a lot of people didn't expect Man United to finish as high as they did. So, given that context, it was a successful season, and the signings that we made. Why would you disagree?
Because you had Ruben Amorim. Yeah, he was going to bring the glory days again. you know, singing on the Stretford end, and he got sacked, and then you had to bring Michael Carrick in to save your season. So
yeah, but
I
then
think
it's still a success though. It's still a success.
Is it a success for a Man United? Is that a success?
Well, not look. We got, like I said, we got to be grounded. We knew. Okay,
no,
Steve,
but
question.
you guys want to be grounded when it suits you. You know, when it's not
Okay.
suiting you and it's going well, you want to be the big Man United who are this, that, and the other. But when it doesn't go quite well, you try and spin it to say, oh, yeah, well, yeah, we did well, though, didn't we? And it's like, no, you didn't. You're either big Man United and that's your expectation, or you're not that club anymore and that's your expectation. There's no floating around in between.
But all right, Steve, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Did you do Premier League predictions last summer?
Yeah.
Where did you have Man United to finish? Be honest.
Every season, I have them about fucking 6th, 7th.
Okay, so you said it 6th, 7th, right? Where did Man United end up finishing?
3rd.
So,
but you shouldn't be asking my expectation. I'm a Man City fan. I hate Man United. I want them to get relegated.
But I hear you. But what I'm trying to say is, because I was realistic. This is the type of beef that I have with other Man United fans. Because last season I was saying we need to lower our expectations because we aren't in that place anymore. We're not that club anymore. So we got to go into this season. Yeah, and I don't dispute a lot of what you're saying, but at the same time, you got to look at it objectively for this season. Our objective was, let's get Champions League football. We are playing one game a week. We don't have an excuse. The signings came in to do that for us. They done their job. Whether it was first half of the season with Bremo, whether it was the second half of the season with Cunha, Sesko, Lemens throughout the whole season, every signing did their job to get us that achievement, which was to get Champions League football, to get back into playing in Europe. We did that. So just if you look objectively, that was a successful window. Now they're going into this window, the objective is going to be a bit different because now we've got Champions League football. We want to compete. We want to win a trophy and maintain the levels. Now we have to give Ineos, I'm not their biggest fan, but a little bit of leeway because they got a strategy that worked last summer. And they're trying to continue that strategy this summer. So yes, Andre Santos for me isn't a needle mover, but given the age, given the fee, you've seen how many the type of numbers Tonali and Anderson are going for, and Mateus Fernandes, who got relegated with West Ham. Look at the money that they're going for. If you look at objectively for what we have signed from Chelsea, that is a good deal. That is a good deal. But does it move me? I'll be honest, it doesn't move me, but I can understand why they've done that. I can understand if we then go on and get somebody that comes in, maybe world class or close to world class, that can be that difference in our midfield, then maybe it looks like a much better window. But right now, it's hard to judge because it's still early. Our business isn't completely done. Come back to me end of the window, and I'll tell you exactly how I feel. But objectively looking at the deal, I understand the deal. I'll leave it.
I agree.
What's the expectation now?
Expectation is hard, bro, because I need to see who we sign. I always said our expectation next season depends on the transfer
last
window.
season was to improve with one game a week to 3rd after that, so you've got to go one step higher. You've got to go one step ahead than that. I agree, but I feel like that banks heavily on the transfer activity. You have to be honest. We said to ourselves, we need 3 midfielders. We probably need a centre half, possibly a left-sided player as well, and then we can compete. We can actually compete. But if that doesn't happen, then the chances of competing and being in that position are much lower, which is why I'm waiting to the end of the window to say, okay, what is the actual realistic target here? What can we expect? Because we have to, like you said, we have to either match or improve or go better than what we did last season. We can't go backwards. We can't do the yo-yo thing and go backwards. So
I'm in the middle. I kind of agree with both of you, and obviously Liverpool fan would probably be somewhere more on sort of an anti-Man United agenda, but it's very obvious. I agree with Steve in terms of, I agree money's a problem there. And we've been discussing this on the show a few times, that there is a problem there with the cash flow. And then obviously people, Man United fans, think there isn't. We got money. It's a change of direction from the owners. It's a change of, how much we're gonna spend, how much wages are we gonna give, profile of player. So that's where I agree with you, because I think you summed it up very well in terms of, we're not that club. You've admitted that. We're not that club anymore. And we have to slowly rebuild ourselves, slowly rebuild our expectations. Don't go from this yo-yo expectations from we're finished or we're going to win the league. So it's a slow progress. And I think this is one of those signings, you're right, it's in the middle. It's one of those, obviously, we'll get onto Matisse's version of events, but me and Toby been hearing about Santos for the last 4 seasons, man. Even though he's been the only 2 probably, but we've been hearing him for the last 4 seasons about this Santos brother, how he's mad and how he's good and how he's going to come good. So obviously United have seen that, and it's in that range. 50 million these days is the new 50 million is the 25, 30 million of years gone by. So you're getting a Premier League. You're going to get Edison, the other Brazilian, or you might still get the Edison, the other Brazilian from Italy. This one's kind of proven. He's had a decent. He hasn't had an amazing spell at Chelsea, but he's been okay when he's been at Chelsea. So you've bought potential young fee, and you're trying to progress slowly but surely. But you have to. You're right. You have to balance this up with a far more name, maybe. I don't know, a bigger profile of a midfielder, because he won't be enough. And then I totally will agree with Steve's point that it's not a backward step, but it's not a step that's going to make you fearful amongst the other teams. But right now, it's okay. We've rebuilt. We've added to the squad. Let's see what we do now.
I respect that Liban is honest in his expectation, and this is why when Saeed's on here, he's definitely not honest. That's why we clash, and all the Man United minions in the chat start crying about it. Big Steve's a hater. No, Big Steve's just realistic, and it's, for me, it is what it is. But this process that Man United have been doing has been going on a long time. It's been going on a long time now, and like you say, it's manager after manager, player after player, board member after board member. So for me, this is a season United have got to get on it. But for me, there's just not been a moment where any of us on this panel have took a step back and gone, wow, that's a big signing for Man United. That's a scary one. You know what I mean? Last year we had Liverpool buying Wirtz. I know it didn't work out well enough, but and Isak, and we all stood there and thought, shit, they just won the league and they've added that. Arsenal went out last year. They got the players they want. The year before they got Declan Rice, etc., etc. Tottenham this window have decided enough's enough. We're going out there. We're putting a marker down, and then Man United roll out Edison and Santos. So I'm just a little bit underwhelmed by it,
But Steve, do you know what it is? Yeah, we've done the whole big signing, big names, big wages, big fees. We've done that, and we've seen over the years it hasn't worked. And now we are paying the price for all of those messes that we've done in the past. Like, for example, Jadon Sancho, we just got rid of him on a free transfer. We just about got rid of him now. Anthony was another difficult one to get rid of. So we're cleaning up the mess of the past, right? While still trying to move forward. Fans have complained about, the leaks at Old Trafford. The facilities being old. Ronaldo doing that interview with Piers Morgan, talking about how old the facilities are. Nothing's changed. Ineos, at least, I'm not the biggest fan, but they are moving in the right direction. They're invested in the training facilities. They're now trying to get a new stadium. There's been an announcement of a new stadium being built. We've changed our transfer strategy in terms of signing players. Now we're looking at more structured deals, getting players at the right age. That makes sense for the club. That's not going to put a financial strain on the football club. And last summer it worked. So, there's a give and take here. Yes, we might not be able to fight with you guys and get the 100 million plus signings that we are able to, but we've shown also we can make the right deals and still push the club forward. Yes, next season is going to be a little bit different. We're going to play more games, but that's what this summer is for, is to address that and make sure that we are prepped, for next season. So yeah, I mean, listen, I'm one of those fans that I try to keep it realistic, but at the same time, I do have expectations for my football club. I do expect us to push on next season. I do expect us to compete, but we have to also expect the right signings to be made in order for us to then do that. So it's hard for me to say right now, but wait till the end of the window and then we can really, really discuss it.
Yeah, I agree with that, to be honest. I fully agree with that, because you can't, the thing is, in isolation, the Santos signing, when you look at the fact that they were chasing Fernandes, looks like a backward step in terms of what they want. Obviously, they're linked with Tchouaméni and a few others, but like Liban said, they actually need 3 midfielders. They've signed one. They're on the verge of signing maybe the second one, Edison. I don't really know what his level is. I've not watched him for Atalanta, so I can't speak to his quality. Santos, we know, isn't a needle mover, but you never know. He could have been given the whole premise of, listen, you're coming into the team, maybe not necessarily as a starter, but the number of players ahead of you is probably not as big as it is at Chelsea, and maybe you get more opportunities to play, especially with Champions League football on the cards as well. So it really depends on who they bring in next. Like if they were to go out and bring in a bona fide starter who ticks the boxes off the ball and ticks the boxes on the ball, right? That they compare with Mainu. And
who's that?
I don't know. I don't know who that is. That's what I'm saying. I don't know who that is. I think the issue with this strategy for Man United though is they're seeing top targets that they could have go to other clubs. Elliot Anderson has gone to Man City. Mateus Fernandes, we've taken him because you weren't prepared to pay that money. Even Bruno G, I know he's not a target for you per se, but I'm just listing some of the best the best midfielders in the league. He wants to go to Arsenal. Arsenal are probably going to make a move there. It's like in the Premier League, if the aim is to try and get Premier League proven top bracket midfielders, the pool's getting smaller and smaller, and you may get to a point where you're still going to end up having to pay the money that you didn't want to pay in the first place for that top player.
Yeah. Now I agree, bro. You know what it is? I think the thing is, Man United actually made it very clear from the start of the year that this was going to be the strategy, that they weren't going to overspend, that they were going to bring the right deals that made financial sense for the football club. And in terms of, obviously, yes, Premier League proven was probably the go-to, but they've also shown through the Edison.
When did they say that?
They said that early start of the year. I think it was like January. There was a report saying that they've got their strategy. That's why kind of them and Ruben Amorim fell out, because Ruben Amorim wanted signings in January. They were like, no, we've got our strategy. We'll wait till the summer. So that was kind of part of why Amorim kind of fell out with them anyway. But my thing is that even with these the strategy going forward in terms of signings, we need to make sure that the players that we are bringing in want to come to Manchester United, because I think it also makes the deal a lot more easier. It puts the ball in our court when it comes to negotiation. I think that's also they're kind of banking on with Mateus Fernandes and Tonali and these guys, is them making their intentions clear that they want to join to Man United, not go to the highest bidder. Because no disrespect to Spurs, I just think you don't have anything more to offer than Man United other than the financial side of things, if we're being honest. So for them, it was probably the highest bidder, the one that gives me the best pay package is the one I'm going to go to. And bro, listen, we've had players that have come to Man United in the past for money, strictly for, getting a bank. So I would rather we waited off and actually went for players that actually make it their desire to join Manchester United, because then you see what you get. You get players like Cunha, you get players like Mbeumo, you get players like Lemez that are passionate. They're going to give you 100% on the pitch. And that's what we need. If it means that we get 40 million player or 50 million player, I'm okay with that, as long as they're going to give 100% on the pitch.
Mateus Fernandes would have given 100% on the pitch, though.
I agree. No, I think he would have. I do think he would have. But with the pay package for a player that just got relegated twice, by the way, he got relegated twice.
Because doesn't matter.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think it's from. I think Man United got it's PTSD. That's what it is as well. It's PTSD. It's trauma, because we've been there. We've done that. You know what I mean? We've paid big money, big bucks, big wages for Man United.
Yeah, but you pay big money, big bucks, big wages on the wrong players. Like when you pay big money, big bucks, big wages on the right players, there's no issue. There's nothing wrong with overpaying for the right player. Right?
But the thing is, how many players at Man United in the past could you say were the right player or was the right signing? For example,
I mean, you just said Sesko. So I think last summer that was an overpay for Sesko, was it not?
No, it wasn't. But it was a structured deal. It was a structured deal in terms of do you know what I mean? Like it's different, because Mateus Fernandes is 85 million up front is what they were asking, and then
it's not up front. It's fixed. It's fixed. It's fixed. 85 million fixed. You were willing to pay 85 million. You were just gonna do it in a different way to Tottenham, but you were willing to get to that amount, right? The wages are the wages. The 250k, that's not even true, by the way. No Spurs journal has even confirmed that. But yes, for all we know, he could be on 250 bags a week. But if this is a player that is genuinely a priority signing for you, which David Ornstein said it was, that's gonna help you reshape your midfield, and you believe in that player, you think he's good enough, then what's the issue in paying him big money? What's the issue?
Because for me, like I said, we've done that. We've done that. The thing is, look, for me also is Mateus Fernandes, as good as a player he is, it's not the end all be all. It's not like we.
I'm not
have
saying
to
it
get
is.
no, but I'm saying, but that's how the reaction, especially for Man United fans, it feels like that, where they feel like, oh, we didn't get the top signing that we wanted. Oh, that's the end. We flopped. Our windows flopped. But realistically, there are other targets, and there probably is a list of targets that they probably potentially targeted. They probably also looked at the fact that, yes, maybe the Premier League players are a little bit overpriced. We may have to look outside the Premier League as well. And they kind of done that with Edison. And I don't know too much about Edison either. I don't know how good of a player he is or whether he can adapt very quickly to the Premier League. But you can see that they do have a plan. And we, as Man United fans, just have to trust their plan, because last summer, and give them a little bit of leeway, not saying you have to back them completely, but give them a bit of breathing space, because last summer they showed the strategy did work. It did work. So I'm just saying there needs to be a bit more patience, and maybe by the end of the window, this whole window could look completely different. Right now, it does look underwhelming. I'll admit it is underwhelming, but by the end of the window, it could look completely different. Do you know what I mean? We signed Lamens on the last days of the window, and he ended up being a game changer signing for us for that season. So that's what I'm saying. We just got a little bit patient. If by the end of the window, if we don't get the right signings, then by all means,
what are the right signings though? What you 3 more players? Let's say, who are those 3 players?
I think priority is the 3 midfielders and a centre back. That's why priority is. If potentially we can squeeze in, I know there's probably financial constraints, but if we could squeeze in a left-sided player as well, then I think that is a realistic good window for us, because it targets all the areas that we need to target. But again, it really depends on, whether or not we can afford the players that we want, and at the same time also exits as well. So like Rashford leaving, for example, and players leaving as well. So I mean, listen, my expectations aren't too high, but I do have enough expectations where I need to see arrivals. I need to see players come into this team if we want to compete, if we want to be in a place where we can compete again. Do you know what I mean? I'm trying to keep it realistic. I've always been this way, innit? That's why I clash a lot with Man United fans, because I feel like Man United fans still live in FIFA career mode, and they think, we can just go in and just talk to players and then 5-year deal, and then I get you 100 million and that's it. It's done. It don't work like that. You know what I mean? Especially given the fact that we're investing in the club again. Real Madrid moved into a new stadium, and the last few years, all their signings have pretty much been free transfers, because they generally couldn't afford to sign players. But they got that pool. They can get away with it because they've won Champions League, so they're getting players in through their pool. We don't have that pool, unfortunately, anymore. That kind of pool's kind of diminished a little bit, if we're being completely honest. So
no, it's not about a little bit. If we're being completely honest,
because we can still sign players. Don't get twisted. We signed Embuemo, Cunha, players that you guys wanted. Arsenal wanted them, by the way.
All right, be easy with that one. Yeah, I don't know
Arsenal,
about that.
Arsenal wanted them as well. Yeah, let's not do that, Turkish.
The only facts are we both wanted Gyökeres,
and
we know where he ended up.
Yeah, listen, and we ended up getting Sesko. I know you swapped that one right now, though.
No, I would have swapped that one, but you're being dunked on by Tottenham this summer. You got to be easy with this transfer
listen,
stuff.
listen.
I know you're not Saeed, but in London there's a lot of United fans that over the years have spoken a lot of trash and whatnot. But what's happened to United now? I can't believe this.
Bro, I don't think anything. I don't know what. I feel like Steve was saying the same thing earlier as well. I feel like
you were third. The reality is, it's not going to get any better in terms of where you finish before a big summer potentially, because you finish third behind an Arsenal team that are not great and just set pieces, behind the City side now in transition. You out of all the windows for Man United to potentially do push the ball out, because it's one thing I get the owners have said we're not going to do that no more, but it's not about not doing that. It's about doing it correctly, especially in the market that Man United actually created. It's not about now pulling out and saying we don't want to do that anymore. Well, if you don't want to do that anymore, it's a long day. It's never going to happen for you, because eventually you're going to have to do something, big. And I think after finishing third, Man City in a transition, Arsenal apparently not great. You would have thought Man United might go in for the kill a bit more. That's why losing out to Tottenham for Fernandes because of money, which, to be honest, has been Man United's flex for 20, 25, 30 years. Money anyway, until the oil money came in. It's just like, what's happened to United? And then Santos. Bro, Santos is from third place. That's where I'm speaking from this signing of Santos. From third place, That's not good enough.
Okay, can we be honest though? Can we actually be honest? Because I get it. Listen, you're the Premier League champions. It's nice. You're probably talking from your throne right now, and you know you got that. Yeah, you know, looking down on everybody and be like, yeah. But
Nah,
listen,
I'm bottom left, man.
do you know what it is? Mistakes will be made, innit? Like even Arsenal, in the process of you winning that title, and you just won your title, by the way, you made mistakes in the transfer window under Arteta. You've signed players like Pablo Mari, Fabio Vieira, and you had to replace them as well. Do you get it? So, yes, you know, this is a process. We might make signings and they might not work, right? But as long as the strategy is consistent and as long as we're bringing in players and we're seeing a level of improvement, then we know that, okay, this is working and we're working towards where we're trying to be. Yeah, we have to. There needs to be an element of acceptance that we aren't able to compete in the market the way, you know, Tottenham are moving right now, or Man City, for example. We can't. It's just not financially. It just doesn't make sense. We're trying to invest in a stadium, invest in, you know, training facilities, and then we got the debt on top of that as well. So I understand this is not FIFA. It's not career mode. We don't have unlimited budget. We can't just do whatever we want. But they've shown last window, and we can only go off what they've shown in the last window. They have a strategy, and my thing is as long as the strategy is working, and if it works again, then we can talk.
So is it third place for you again next season? Is that
no? I think if we get this window right, we can compete. I don't think we can compete for the title, even if we get it right. Though I'm being serious, because no, I'm not taking the piss. We bopped, bro. What do you mean taking the piss? You came to our ground and we bopped you off the park, bro. We gave Pep that nice little farewell tour at Old Trafford. Do you know what I mean? With the same team that we just got.
Hold on a minute.
I mean? So we finished like 7 points behind you.
Hold on, 26 minutes in, bro. 26 minutes in, he's falling for it.
Let me answer him. Did you not come to our ground and get bopped 3-0?
Ruben Amorim tax.
Oh, right, okay. But did we not go to your ground with Rico Lewis and Max Elaine at centre-back and you beat us 2-0? And what did you win at the end of the season? Fuck all. So don't be coming on here flexing that you beat Little Man City in a game at Old Trafford, because that don't wash, mate. You're Man United. So if you're flexing beating Man City now, my life's changed, because when I was a kid, Man United didn't care about Man City, and apparently you don't care about Man City, but you just used it as a flex. You know what I mean?
No, but I've used it as a counter argument for you to basically deflect or counter the fact that we can't compete.
You just stood there with a straight face and told us that you're going to be competing next season, and I just said you're taking the piss.
No, context though. Steve, context though. I said if we get the window right, we can be in a position to compete.
Yeah, but if Manchester City go out and sign Vinny Jr. and someone else, now I can say we're going to win the league, but there's no realistic fact that you've not given me a player you're going to sign that's going to change it for you to win the league.
But I can go off what I've seen in terms of last season. It says a Carrick arrived. We had the most points.
We had one game.
We won the most points. Yeah, but that's the thing. But if that's the rebuttal of just one game a week, what can we do? We knew from August we'll play one game a week. We can only go off what we're seeing.
Let's mention it.
We can only go off what we're seeing.
We got beat off Grimsby Town. Yeah, remember that?
Ruben Amorim tax as well.
All right, okay, yeah. Well, anything that's bad's Ruben Amorim tax. Anything that's good's Michael Carrick.
Because that's what it was. Because that's what it was.
You ain't winning the league. That's what it was. Nowhere near that league. Nowhere near.
Listen, all I'm saying is, since Carrick's arrived, we won the most points. We went to every single one of you lot's ground, every single one. Stamford Bridge. We went to, we went to. You guys came to us, but we beat every single one of you under Carrick. We beat every single one of you, and we got the most points. So for me to say that if we get the window right and we could be in a position, it's not crazy. It's not wild.
We were in Champions League games. We were in FA Cup finals, League Cup finals. We just can't have 3 weeks rest and then go out and to Arsenal and beat them. When Arsenal are in a title run, they've got City coming up. They've got cup games coming up. People are thinking about other stuff. So this season, when you've got to think about other stuff, let's see how many times you go to these big grounds and win then. It won't
that's a fair. I'm not gonna dispute that. That's valid. I can't dispute that. That is valid. We'll play more games. Our players will probably get more tired, more fatigued. I'm not gonna dispute that. But based on my prediction, I can only go off what I've seen. Even whether it's 1 game or 3 games a week, I can only go off what I've seen. If I'm saying that if we get the window right and we compete, that's based on what I'm seeing. That's based on what I've seen. So
you stayed cool. I'm not gonna lie, Liban. You stayed cool. For 26 minutes, you stayed really cool.
I was alright. But eventually I gave it.
Joined forces with Steve, and then they just got you a little bit right at the end, and you started coming out with the title.
Do you know what it is though?
That's when I thought, okay.
Grizz, you know what a lot of what they're saying is true. I do see they are trying to get me a little bit with the rage, but there is if there is truth in what they're saying, but I think they're being there is a bit like disingenuous in terms of the way they're trying to vocal it. Yeah, do you know what I mean?
VAT will always be added. You can't avoid taxes.
Yeah, I hear it. I'm trying to reclaim that at the airport right now. Well, yeah, listen, that's where I stand in it. That's where I stand, guys. Yeah.
You're on mute.
Matisse, you're on mute.
I'll be quick because I don't want to go on for too long because we've got some blockbuster World Cup games to go into. But listen, I think it's a very good signing. I've said countless times. I think the player's a very good player. People that want to judge him off last season, you're more than welcome to. Didn't really play under Maresca much. Loads of Chelsea fans were calling him for him to play. Liam Rosenior starts playing him in the pivot. Then he starts winning games at the beginning of it with playing some decent football. Then he gets put back on the bench again and replaced. So there's not really much you can judge. He come into an unstable environment. We had 3 managers. We're playing different systems. We've got a whole heap of upheaval going on, whole heap of politics going on, whole heap of carnage in the second half of the season. It's not really the environment you want to judge someone making their Premier League debut season off the back of a very good Strasbourg season. The same Strasbourg season that now Chelsea fans will be getting excited about Barco. So for all we need a physical midfielder, we need tackles and interceptions, we need height. But suddenly Barco is the guy that can replace Santos and is fine. For me personally, this is just another example of we're buying someone at a really good fee. We loan them to Strasbourg. They come to this first team and we don't have a plan for them. And if I'm to go through our pivot options, the reason why I'm annoyed is because he's our second best player to go in that pivot right now in the squad. I don't know much about Barco in the Premier League. He's not kicked a lick of football since Brighton at left back. Enzo doesn't want to be here, and we know he can't play in the pivot. And the other 2 midfielders are injury prone, and they can't even string 2-3 games together. So in terms of durability, mobility, athleticism, and actually being able to put the passes together in the midfield and zip it about and break lines. And we know he can get goals at Strasbourg. He just hasn't been able to translate here. He's a very good player. Does he need to go to Man United and start week in, week out? No, he doesn't, depending on who you sign. I still believe you need a 6. I was saying to Saeed, you're not getting Tchouaméni. There's no way Mourinho is letting Tchouaméni out of his sight. He might let Camavinga, but he's not letting Tchouaméni. So I don't know where you're going to get the 6. I keep saying it. Everybody needs Bruno Guimaraes. if you guys were serious, you'd go in there and you try and get Bruno Guimaraes. Obviously, he wants to go to Arsenal now. Chelsea need him. Everybody needs him, apart from the teams that have already signed midfielders like City and Tottenham. Even Liverpool could do with him. But until you go and get that enforcer in there, you also won't have the balance for Santos, the same way we didn't have the balance. So I think Santos in isolation is a very good player. I'm not happy we let him go. The only reason why I let him go, because teams don't want our injury-prone players, and Real Madrid don't want to pay for Enzo. That's it. Otherwise, I think Xavi would have got a look at him in the preseason and he could have made his mind up. But you still need to get the balance right. Garte is obviously, injured. And I don't know about this Brazilian guy, same as TOBS. I can't speak on him. For all you know, he could be the best thing since sliced bread, or he might be a bum. He can't pass. I don't know. But let's see, man. I think for 50 million, the only thing he hasn't got is minutes and consistent game time and stability. All these other midfielders in the lower part of the table, playing for your West Hams, playing for your Newcastles last year, they have consistency. They were bought in. Well, Fernandes came in from Southampton. Anderson came in from Newcastle. They weren't Man City level players. They weren't title winning players, but they got game time. They got opportunity. And then they developed over 2 years. And then now they got the big move. There's no reason in 2 years why Santos can't be starting for Brazil, an aging midfield in Brazil, and starting for Manchester United and looking at the business saying, that was very strong business, especially in this market where the midfielders are going for 120 million pounds. So for me, I think it's a good signing. I'm not going to lie. I think it's a good signing. Let's see how it goes.
That kind of shows how far you've both fallen off, man. You're upset losing him and they're happy signing him. It's great times, man.
I was thinking that myself.
It's great times.
Bro, but this is the thing. When you don't, people in the chat, like the guys that disagree with me that are Chelsea fans, I don't know if they've got this crazy like hope for our directors or our recruitment, but I'm on the same shit I was on the last 2 years. So again, I don't believe in our recruitment and I don't believe in our directors. We just went in with an £8 million bid for Xhaka. We're now not getting that over the line. We're not going in for a Bruno Guimaraes level player that I want to get. So until I see the end of the transfer window, similar maybe to Liban, or that I'm on more the negative side, if you want to call it that, after finishing 10th, why the hell do I have to be optimistic sitting here saying, oh, I'm losing players I like and I don't know what the hell's coming in? These guys, they why should they be trusted? Until proven Otherwise, these guys don't deserve any trust or any leeway. They haven't signed anyone of note as of yet.
It's a bit like
I assume
you
you
and
replaced him, though.
United are just throwing shit at each other, isn't it? They threw a big pile of shit at you, Garnacho, and you picked it up and threw a big pile of shit back in Santos. So you're just shit throwing at each other at the minute, isn't it?
I don't think he's shit. I don't think he's shit, but let's see how he does. Let's see how he does. Let's see how he
Word on
does.
the street. Word on the street is you're after Alex Scott now, Matisse.
So what? Again, we're gonna unless you're gonna pay 80 million for him, and what's the point? What's the point? You just I don't get it, man. But anyway, I don't know if that will even happen because we're meant to be getting like some sort of physical presence in midfield. So we need a 6. So let's see what happens. Let's see. Let's go through some chats here. This one's saying for 50 million we get Santos, definitely a talent and a hybrid 6'8", which is what we need, but we still need a marquee midfielder, Tchouaméni. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen though, bruv. I'll be honest. Oh yeah, do you know what? Let's save this for World Cup. We're gonna get to that in a minute. Why is Toby looking like CJ from Grand Theft Auto San Andreas at the start of the game? Move a bit. It's just a bit more jacked. Tobes, you're struggling with your lighting, brother. You all right?
It's the sun, bro. It's just, dude, I had to leave it. Yeah,
He's done it on purpose, man. You know him.
yeah, I've done it on purpose, apparently.
Spamela Anderson says, when Saeed is back, don't let him get away with gassing up Santos. On Sunday, he was calling him a Chelsea reject.
No, was he?
Yeah,
No way.
Saeed
Was
doesn't
he
need to-
People throw up crazy terms, you know. The guy's only been at Chelsea for one
Has he done
season.
his video? Yeah, I'm gonna check his video after.
I'm gonna watch his video after this, but like two different people sent me his video, and
Really?
it's actually disgraceful how this guy.
I haven't watched it yet.
No. Big man thing. It's really, really disgraceful because you can literally see him flip flopping like a fish when when like his position changes depending on Man United's interest in the player. It's actually
He's
nasty.
always been the same. He's always been the same.
Nasty work. Honestly, the guy actually makes me sick. He makes me sick to my stomach.
Mohammed says this nonsense that we don't have money is boring. We spent over 200 million for the last couple of seasons. Is that Man United related? I guess.
Yeah,
all
but
in
then
there, man.
that's the point, though, innit? That's the point. If you keep spending and wasting more so, then you have to change direction. It's basic economics, man.
10 years of that.
Basic
Literally.
economics.
Yeah, literally.
By Saeed's logic, surely Rodri is above Pirlo and Busquets since he just ran through Prime Iniesta and Xavi at the World Cup. Do you know what? He's so lucky he's not on today because I'm gonna bro.
I was looking forward to just ripping into this guy, bro. Just
Where is he now?
ripping
Why
into
is
him
he
for
not
his
here? Do we
bullshit.
know?
I think he tried to use me as a shield today. I think he tried to throw me in as a
Never
decoy.
told, he usually speaks to me. Never told me he wasn't here. So something's going on.
Something's going on.
I actually don't know what's going on. He just told me and gave no context. Just Waffling says, my only worry is that there's too many rivals have gone through their smart spending, data-driven era. They're now spending big on finishing pieces like Arsenal or Bruno Guimaraes. Time stands still
that's
for
about
no
60
man.
mil. That's about 60 mil. That's not spending big.
Come on,
You're not gonna get him for 60 mil. Actually, you may as well say something on that before we move on to World Cup.
Don't be so stupid.
What's your thoughts?
Oh, Tobes. I just want Tobes. You know how much we paid for Hincapié in the end, yeah?
Well, that was different though. You're buying from a club.
You were talking the same shit all season. 60 million, 60 million. I told you it's loan, man. We'll find out the fee. And the fee wasn't 60 million. But anyway.
No. Well, yeah, actually, you just lie. So continue. I'm not going to.
Bro is about to get into another argument.
Yeah.
Like, listen, Bruno's. As soon as the United Santos news comes out, the Bruno news comes out. You said it, Matisse. The Bruno could do. You could do with Bruno. United could definitely do it. For me, if United did that, if United unsettled him and he handed in the transfer request, I think maybe I speak for Steve too, would probably be assessing this a bit different because Bruno's kind of tried, tested, and he deserves the level up, the chance to get some trophies in his career and cap it off at a prime age, whatnot. The fact we're doing it, even better. We're champions, and that's a signing that improves an area of the side that isn't the most need of improving. And I feel like 60 M's roughly, that's what they're quoting, or whoever it is came out. Ornstein quoted. Is it Ornstein?
Yeah.
rising to 60 million. It might be 70 million. But at the end of the day, when you're looking at Fernandes 85, you're looking at Tonali 100. Anything less than 100 for Bruno Guimaraes is on the cheap in this market.
Yeah.
Let's be real here.
No, it's true.
Let's be real. In terms of his quality and his standing and where he is, the age he is, and all of that things considered, 70 million, if it rises to that, it rises to that. I think we need to focus on the attack, but this seems like an opportunity too good to be true, so go nab it. And it's also evident from the club that we want to maintain this success. Last time we was in a position of success under this ownership was when they bought us. They then went on a path of buying young, selling early, buying young, selling early, buying young for profit. This signing in particular, if it is to happen, if Newcastle are to let go, it's one to sustain success. He's not getting any younger, prime age coming in. Rice needs some, rest. Zubimendi towards the tail end of last season, horrible in comparison to the beginning. Lewis Skelly's new onto the midfield scene. I love him there, but at the end of the day, we could do with an extra body. So Bruno's a top player, man. I'm hesitant to say get too excited about it, but if we were to sign anyone in midfield, cool, let it be him.
I think it's gonna cost, bro,
85
85 minimum. Actually, no, I'd say even 90 because I heard Leon got a clause.
They got 20% sell-on clause. These lot think, because the players, Bruno Guimaraes, because the players declared that he wants to leave, and Newcastle are Newcastle. They just think they're just gonna rock up in there and get him for 60 million quid, 60 million pounds. You think that they're gonna sell their club captain for less money than they got for Anthony Gordon and Tonali?
Yeah,
and I know people are gonna say, but his age. I know, because if he was 26, best believe the number would be like 120, 130. But he's 28. He's gonna be 29 years old. However, he's still their club captain. He's still their best player, and they are under no pressure to sell financially. They might have pressure on the player.
Grizz knows about that last year with the Isak deal. They play hard ball, Newcastle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you look at what net players they've lost or what they can potentially have lost in the last 2 seasons since winning that Carabao Cup, it's bad for them. The fans are going to go mad. Bruno, like Turkish said, I think he does deserve to go that next level and compete. And going in at Arsenal, for me, he's a good signing. Declan Rice, we all got to agree that he's played too many games this season. There was times his hamstrings were getting held together with fucking masking tape. And the guy was like, he's just a nice player to slide in there and compete, put a fire up a few players' arse and say, look, I better buck up here because if I don't play well, this kid's taking my place. And Bruno's a bit of a passion merchant as well. They've got one in Gabriel. I've said it before. The guy cheers throw-ins and all that. And Bruno's exactly the same. He's a fan favourite. No matter who he plays for, he's a badge kisser. He bangs the chest, and he's gonna be good for them. No matter what anyone says, he's gonna be good.
It's if you think about it, obviously different age before people start saying, "Oh, he's 20, whatever." Different age, but he's a fan's like Declan Rice was a fan's favourite at West Ham. Captain, leader, inspirational, badge kisser. Everything that what you said about Guimaraes, it was said about Declan Rice. I think it's a very, very smart move. If Arteta's behind this, probably Arteta's behind this as opposed to Berta. We don't know that, but it's a very smart. And Arsenal are in that position now where they've spent 5-6 years building up a squad to go over the line. Now they don't need to go mad in the market. They just need to top it off with 3-4 first teamers, 3-4 starters. And that's what they're targeting now. The likes of Rodgers, straight starter over Martinelli or Trossard. Guimaraes, straight starter, probably over Mendy. 100% straight starter. And I don't know who else this targeting. Turkish will know, but which other areas. But even striker, I heard they're probably even willing to upgrade on Gyökeres. So that's the position they're in. The rest of us have to catch up with the fee. I think they get him. I think it's just a matter of time now. Once the guy's made it clear that he wants to leave, we know the drift. We know the story. I just think it's a matter of fee now. I think Arsenal are willing to pay probably about 75, I reckon. I don't know what you guys think, but I think there will be a deal for 70, 75, Toby. I know you're thinking...
I don't agree.
There could be a deal for some of the fringe players at Arsenal because Newcastle are in a position where they need players.
Now
I think
we're
they'll
talking.
be struck, man. Once you get to this level, he's told the player, they've made it public. It's not fresh. This has been ongoing for a few weeks now. Newcastle know they just have to get the best price now. That's it. They just have to get
Yeah.
the best
And I
price.
don't
Also,
think that's
the- also
70
the
I don't
World
think that's
Cup.
75 million. Sorry, go on, Liban.
No, I'm saying also his performances in the World Cup. I think he was one of Brazil's best players as well. So that's probably going to add a little bit more tax as well, probably on the price. I think for 60 mil it would be a good price, but I don't think that's realistic. I think probably the same price as Gordon. You know, I think he'll go for the same price around Gordon.
Nah, I think he'll go for more.
There's a few players at
think he'll go for more.
Arsenal, Trossard, Norgard, Martinelli, who, if I'm a Newcastle guy, I'm thinking, okay, if you're taking our captain, we want decent dough, but we're going to try and lever one of these guys out. Even Wanyeri on loan, something like that for a season. Get him
but
there,
from a
whatever.
Newcastle point of view, though, guys, it is looking a bit dark.
Not looking good for them.
They're in
Good,
trouble.
good.
It's
No,
looking
no.
a bit dark, guys.
You know what? There are some logical Newcastle fans. So apologies in advance for what I'm about to say, but it couldn't have happened to a nicer bunch. Honestly, it couldn't have happened to a nicer bunch. Genuinely, I have no sympathy whatsoever because the way they've been running around for the last 2 seasons, and this isn't exclusive to Newcastle. Certain other teams as well talking tough because they're back in Champions League and they won their first trophy in 50 odd years and this, that, and the third. Like, remember who you are, because I know who Tottenham are.
Remember who you are.
I know who Tottenham
Come on,
are.
Toby.
No, it's the truth. I know who Tottenham are. I'm not
Where's
one of
that
these.
talking?
I'm not one of these arrogant Tottenham fans. I know who we are. I know our place. Know your place. There's a chain. There's a pecking order. Know where you stand in the pecking order, because some of the things that these lot say, as if these clubs won't come and just snatch your player. It's the truth. Liverpool snatched the player that you wanted to sign this summer, the winger, on top of snatching every single player you wanted to sign last summer. Then Chelsea slapped your head last summer, telling us, oh, we couldn't come and get Tonali. Well, we got Tonali, we slapped your head, took the money, done. And now Arsenal made a derisory, because I think it is a derisory bid, 60 million in this market. I think that's a derisory offer for Bruno Guimaraes, but Arsenal made one bid. And in the space of 2 weeks, the player informs the club that he wants to leave. So when they're talking tough and doing all this bullshit, just remember who you are. Remember where you're situated in the UK. Remember where you're situated in the Premier League. And remember your damn fucking place in the pecking order. Yeah? Like, I'm so torn. You know what it is? I'm so torn because I don't want Arsenal to sign this player. I really don't, because I think he's a quality midfielder. But there's a part of me that will smirk so much at seeing them get their heads slapped again for one of their top players.
Oh, dear me.
So you think about, just a quick one, if you think about it, Elliot Anderson,
And I love
Bruno
Newcastle.
Guimaraes,
Sorry.
Tonali, Isak, Gordon. You know, these are the players that they can potentially have lost in the last couple of seasons. It's just mad. And like I say, Newcastle, they're owned by the Saudis. When they got took over, they were dancing in the streets. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to do this. And like you say, one Carabao Cup. Okay, you don't want a trophy for 60 odd years. Fine. But you're going backwards now. They're going backwards now. There's nowhere. They're not going forwards now. Because who are they going to attract? If Manchester United, I was saying Manchester United have not got that pull, what's the pull for Newcastle when all the best players are gone?
Well, it has to be. Their pull was like Spurs seem to be doing the pull now in terms of throwing big bags of money. And if they can't do that with the financial constraints, big clubs and big agents will see that all their big boys, literally all their big boys, have left in the last 2 years. Everyone wants out. So they're in.
Yeah. I think also the players, I think they lost patience. I think they're at the end of their cycle. Like, if you look at the Newcastle project of the last few years, they obviously won the trophy, but they've been in and out of the Champions League. Eventually, these players will be like, listen, once they get a taste of Champions League, they don't want to leave.
Liban, these players behind the scenes know. They know behind the scenes the financial constraints. So I'm sure players speak. People know what's going on at the club. They know they can't flex their financial muscle. They're owned by the richest people. The owners are the richest owners in the world. But what's the point if you can't spend it? And there's obviously little rumors that they've lost interest in the overall project as well.
Yeah. So I think Newcastle made a mistake though in terms of I think they should have cut their ties with Eddie Howe. I think the players don't see, if you're keeping, I think there was a point where they had to make a decision. It was either what they're facing now or they get a new manager. Because I think if they had sacked Eddie Howe maybe a year or two earlier and gotten a new manager, maybe a big profile manager, it may have given them a new lease of life, a new direction, a new project. But because they didn't, and it kind of stretched it for too long, and I think Eddie Howe's overstayed his welcome at Newcastle, to be honest with you. I think the players are just looking at this is going to be a repeat. Again, it's the same thing all over again. So I don't blame the players for wanting to leave, to be honest with you. I don't blame them at all.
Donny says you're losing out Prem-proven midfielders, need to strengthen the squad to play more than once a week. You need a Casemiro replacement, who is arguably your second best player last season. He then went on to say something else. Where is it? There it is. Saeed last week said Walton 80 million and that they know what's left. Why would they not ask for 100 million plus? And then you're left with what to sign 5 or 6 more players. The thing is, yeah, is right. The more midfielders that go, the more they can quote for the midfielders that are left. So people saying, oh, we don't want to pay this money because we don't value him as high. Okay, cool. You're going to have to overpay. You're still going to have to overpay for someone because these clubs don't want to let go of their players. But, you know, they still want to keep Scott. They're trying to give him new contracts. You know, none of these clubs willingly want to let go. So unless someone's running out of contract, then yeah, you're still gonna have to pay up, to be honest. All right, cool. I'm gonna do a few more and then we're gonna move on to the World Cup, guys. Let's see. Man United would have liked to have get Mateus Fernandes, but all of us would also want to get Florian Wirtz. We can't get them all, and who knows what will work out. Spurs better finish above 17th once in 3 seasons before they want to talk to us. What is your expectation? What is your expectations, Tobes?
I already said last week. We need to be getting back into the top 4, and we need to making a proper assault for a trophy. Yeah, top 4, top 5. That should be the aim next season. That should be the aim.
I agree. Got one game a week.
Yeah, that should be the aim. One game a week. I'm assuming that we're going to sign 2 more players. Yeah, assault the trophies and try and shoot right up the table. Assault the league. Simple.
Shut up, man.
Josh Wafflin says Man United getting the money spenders.
Foot manager, innit?
Assault the league. Is this what is this the new Tadaris to do? Assault the league.
No, it's not. It's just something I said. Because jumping from 17th to 5th, what is that? What is that to you? How would you describe that?
Yeah, 17th to assault. How do you describe that? How does that work out?
So I'm not gonna do this. I can't be bothered.
No, do you know what it is? Turkish City.
So why do you keep indulging? I don't understand.
Let's move on.
Why do you keep indulging? I'm trying to keep. You want to argue with Turkish every 5 minutes?
I didn't. Let's move on.
How many years are you gonna do this show before you learn?
He said it under his breath, and you know he was going to say under his breath, and then he moved back.
It's too easy.
Yeah, he sat back. You came forward. You came forward. He sat back.
Yeah, I'm not
if Turkish had a pound for every time he rattled Tobes, honestly, he'd be gone.
I'm not giving any credit to Tottenham if they finish in the top 4 from 17th, because to be honest, no, I'm not doing it because it's supposed to be up there. The class as a top 6 team, yeah. So if Man City finish 17th. Have a bad season next year, finish 17th, then the season after we get back to 3rd or 2nd. That's where we should be. I ain't going to celebrate that and try and say, oh, look how well we've done. I'll be fuming. So if I'm Toby, I'm fuming. So if they get back to 3rd and 4th, okay, let's forget them 2 seasons. We're back where we belong. Not, oh, we've done well though, haven't we? That's why I said before, United finishing 3rd. To me, nah, you're there. You should be up there. That's it. So the standards need to change. And like I say before, the signings they've made, they're in good position, but it's going to be tough. But I ain't giving them no credit for it. Go and do it. You spent the money now. It's on the table. Get back where you belong. Simple.
Let's see. It's odd sometimes. Santos and Enzo are good players, but they have major weaknesses. This is what I don't understand. Which midfielder outside of Bruno Guimaraes right now does not have major weaknesses? Everybody keeps talking about the guy.
Bruno Guimaraes has weaknesses as well.
And exactly, but I'm saying like glaringly obvious ones. Even the guy at Palace that now is everybody's new favorite player, he has weaknesses as well. You're not gonna get, especially in our predicament, you're not gonna get perfect players. in midfield or in any position, really. They're going to have weaknesses. But like I keep saying, there's no point in continuing to say, oh, well, this guy can go because he's got some weaknesses here. We've got literal bums in the squad. So if I don't see Delap, Garnacho, Tosin, Badiashile, Disasi, and I can keep going, if they're not all gone at the end of the summer and they're still here, none of these comments make any difference to anyone because they're the guys that are going to be in the squad and going to be called upon at Christmas. So you guys can keep diminishing the guys that are actually decent and actually talented while the bums are still here. But as far as I'm aware, no one really trusts the directors to replace the players that we're losing that are actually of some quality, and there's still bums here. So I don't know, man. Like, it's crazy to me. All right, let's move on to World Cup. England versus Mexico. Steve, immediate reaction, brother. Man. Talk to me.
I thought it was a fantastic game. I did. I thought it was going to be a tough game. The Azteca, we were all told about the altitude. We've now changed it to altitude. And we were told about the record they've got and all that. But I thought it had everything. I thought it was a proper game of football. I enjoyed it. Like, it was one of the England classics, you know what I mean? The pub, fucking 2 a.m. in the morning, was bouncing. Do you know what I mean? Jude Bellingham, he just turned up and thought, fuck it, we're having it. And the referee was a bit mad. Don't mind a bit of madness every now and then. Mexico came back. You know, there was penalties. The game literally had everything. You know what I mean? It was so exciting. And then near the end, we're down to 10 men. We've got Big Dan Burn and fucking Johnny Stones at the back. And we're literally heading everything. Clearing it, half volleying it, slicing it. And I was literally, the whole pub was heading every ball out. It was fantastic to see people shouting, fucking go on, Dan Burn and all that. And I was like, yeah, man, I've missed this for England. This is a bit of summit. This is a bit of like, we're under it. We were under it. The England fans behind the net were getting covered in piss, you know, fucking beers, everything slung on them and that, you know. And then we got the win, the wonder wall at the end, and we move. But it's good. I think the tournament's been brilliant. I think it's got going now in these knockout stages. We're seeing madness going on. People saying the refs this, the refs that. But England did well. You know, I'm not Tommy Tuchel's biggest fan. I'm not. But one thing I'll say to him is he's brought a little bit of unity. Gareth Southgate did that as well. I can't say they didn't. They did look. He's brought a little bit of unity together. But I like the way he thinks with the substitutions. I've got to give him that. He's always, in a game when we need to be positive, the fans in the pub and the stadium starting to groan, he brings a positive substitution on. The other night, we're like, shit, without 10 men, what's he going to do here? He sussed out the situation. He didn't panic, brought the subs on. We dug deep, got the win. So for me, I'm happy. It's a big, big game coming up. Big Earl and the boys are waiting for us on Saturday. I'll be on the mob watch along with the lads ready for it. And then I've got a ticket for the semi-final if they get through to Argentina. So if they win on Saturday night, I'm on a flight Monday morning to Atlanta. My missus doesn't know it yet. I'm working on it yet. But I'm going. So, yeah, I'm hoping they win. And like you say, I was impressed with it and really, really impressed with the performance. And we just got to get behind it and see where we go.
I think that was the best England match I've ever watched in terms of like the stakes as high as they were, all the build up going into the game. Obviously, maybe the form not being everybody's cup of tea going into the game with the defense leaking goals as well. Obviously, the squad selection has been controversial, but to go to the Azteca and win in that fashion with the 10 men as well.
Yeah.
I loved it, man. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. And people will say defensively, yeah, we conceded 2 more goals, but I actually think defensively, I'm actually all right with that game in terms of we conceded obviously from the penalty, and they had the other goal, but for large parts we defended brilliantly. I mean, with 10 men backs against the wall for the last 25 minutes, 30 minutes, all that injury time. And like you said, every ball that came into the box, Dan Burns on the end of it. And a lot of people said, why is he in the squad? Now we know why. For those moments, if you're trying to defend backs against the wall, literally the guy you want in that box heading everything away. Bellingham, you could see him huffing and puffing at the end of the game, out of breath, still managing to carry himself across that pitch. He was fantastic for the 2 goals in 2 minutes. Kane obviously got a goal. Gordon was outrageously good. He was so good. And again, another player
in some games. He's been shit in some games, but he was good.
Yeah.
He was good.
The last 2, he got 2 assists in the last one. And then obviously a great performance there against Mexico on the left. He just didn't stop running that channel, stretching the pitch, creating space, running in behind. And when we're seeing Brazil go out, Portugal's gone out, Germany's gone out, the Netherlands gone out, I know it's an English thing to complain, but bro, a lot of big nations are going home. France struggled against Paraguay. They're getting in fist fights. It's not easy, this World Cup. So as much as everybody keeps saying, oh, we're not doing this, we're not doing that, what we are doing is we're still here at the end of the day. And there seems to be goals in this team. Obviously, the defense needs to be improved. But I'm happy, man. I think just enjoy it, because that team, like you said, there seems to be unity. I thought Stones was injured there in the clip, and then they just start dancing. I'm thinking, yeah, fuck it, this is brilliant. So, yeah, man. Hopefully, everybody learns to love Tuchel the way I do, man. That's what we're here for.
I think anyone watching from the outside who's been watching England for the last God knows however long will see a difference, especially the way they handled the whole 98 minutes or wherever it was in the end. Like, there was phases of everything in that English performance. Like, there were rocky phases. Like, Mexico should have scored a couple goals in that first half, definitely. Yeah. Then they weathered that storm. Storm's not the right word for that high altitude, but you know what I'm saying. But they weathered that altitude. Then they came into their own. I thought Jude Bellingham for a spell went mad, like literally old school. I'm talking my era, like old school Gaza, you know, almost Stevie G type, like take the game. You know what I mean? Gordon was forever a threat. And then when they went down to 10 men, how many times have we seen this story? How many times have we seen this movie? We think, oh, fuck, here we go. 10 men, 2-1, they equalize. Not equalize, they score that quick goal, and you think England going to buckle here. But you know what? Fair play the way they held out. I thought Mexico missed a trick. I'm not going to go overboard with the England performance, because I thought Mexico absolutely sleepwalked into that trap of just crossing it into Jimenez when they had big lumps at the back. They should have carried on trying to play more football. But they got dragged in. The atmosphere, the euphoria of the crowd, it keeps you going forward. Just get the ball in there, And that played into England's hands. But I can see England going to the final. I'm not going to lie. I
think the midfield, Bellingham, Rice and Anderson, is not getting enough credit. I think Rice and Anderson, the work rate of them two.
Oh, it's unreal.
It's not necessarily, they don't do anything which catches your eye. They're not going to do a little Cruyff turn here and there or something crazy. But I'm telling you now, you 1 minute Rice is thundering into a tackle, then Anderson's covering near the back, then all of a sudden Jude's doing his thing. And without them two busy in that midfield, Jude Bellingham can't go, because if he does and them two ain't pulling the weight, we're getting caught. But he knew that Anderson and Rice have got that covered there. Yeah. And I thought that was good. And I'm not being funny, under Southgate, I think we go to that stadium and we try to play defensively because he shits it. And I think that we don't score 3 goals there. And I think we might get beat and we're home. Whereas with Tuchel, he let the handbrake off a little bit and we went for it. And Harry Kane at the minute, I mean, you know, we spoke about him before. He's fantastic. But like you say, not getting carried away. Big game coming up against Norway. Big Earl and the boys are going to have something for us, but we've got something for them. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. And someone asking in the chat about the ticket prices. The ticket prices are an absolute joke. The FA, we are because I have hospitality at England. We had to apply for tickets in a ballot. We didn't get any tickets for the first round. Then we've got one in the semi. The ticket price is $3,000.
Wow.
Face value.
Wow.
For that. And then I asked the woman on the phone, I'm not being funny, but how are these other nations, you know, how are these fans getting tickets? How are they paying these prices? Some of the other nations' FAs have subsidized the ticket prices. So they will pay percentage towards it. The English FA aren't. But like you say, I think if it's an England-Argentina semi-final, the tickets are going to go for well more than that.
Yeah. But Steve, you know, you were just saying about the midfield. I think... I agree with you heavily on that in terms of I don't feel like they get enough credit because, you know, prior to coming into this tournament, example for Jude, I feel like a lot of people almost disrespecting him, you know. There was even people questioning whether or not Jude should even be in the starting lineup, you know, for England. And I'm so glad that he's actually having the tournament he's having because I think he's extremely disrespected because of the fact that he's simply not the technical player like Pedri or Vitinha, but what he can do off the ball or on the ball, work rate, aggressiveness, win duels, and still be able to create and score goals. He's a for me, I don't know about you guys how you feel, but I think Jude is a world-class midfielder. I think he's a world-class midfielder, you know, and what you see we get all the time for England, it's not a fluke. That is a player that knows where to be at the right place at the right time. You look at the, you know, his first season at Real Madrid, you know, he scored the winning goal in 3 of the first 4 Clásicos. That's not a fluke. This is who he is. And I say this is his team. I know Harry Kane is the guy that gets the goals, but England, that is Jude Bellingham's team. Whether people disagree or not, that's fine, but I think that this is his team, and we don't have a midfielder outside of him. We don't have a midfielder that can take the game by the scruff of the neck like the way Jude does, you know. And yes, he might have a bit of an ego. Yes, he might rub people the wrong way, but ego sometimes can be a good thing. Ego sometimes can be a good thing.
You're driven. The kid has got an ego, but he's playing for Real Madrid. And he's playing for England, and he's got a bit of an ego, and he will put it on him, and he will rattle a few cages, and he will get involved. But you need that. If you've got, like I say, if you've got a Declan Rice and Anderson workhorse behind you, his free roll is you get in that box late, arrive in that box, you drive us up that pitch. Anderson, Rice, give Jude the ball. He can skip between players. He can drive with the ball. We haven't had anyone for England that drives through that centre like that since Gascoigne. Gascoigne was the man, got us out the shit. Gazza would drive with it, and Jude's the same. And then, like you say, he adds that. We get down the line, everyone's looking for Kane. Ball back post, who's there? Jude Bellingham, bang. We've seen it with Real Madrid. I've seen it with my own eyes at the Etihad. He done us there. You know, we've seen it with Dortmund. But yeah, he's having a good tournament. But there's a few players are having a good tournament. But we've got to, like you say, it's going to be tough now. This is tough time now. Norway, yeah, man, they're not messing about.
I wouldn't say it's his team, because I think when I look at it's someone's team, I look at like Yamal Spain, or I look at Neymar Brazil when he was playing, like someone that is literally running the team, like he's running the game for that team. I don't think Bellingham runs the game for England, but I think he does. I also just want to respect like the other frontline players. Like Kane turns up for England, Saka's turned up for England. It was previously Rashford and Sterling. Like it's not. I don't think one person's job to run that team, because there's too many good players for that. But I do think he's a top player, bro. Like people like ask, like, what's his best position in midfield or whatnot? He's an old-fashioned midfielder for me. I think in the early 2000s we had loads of these types of midfielders. They just do everything. That tackle that he's making it to save that goal, plus crashing the box, plus dribbling past 2-3 players as well. He's up and down. He's running. I think he's fantastic. Like he just does everything you want a midfielder to do. He's a Premier League midfielder. He is like, if Liverpool had got him, that is literally a modern day Gerrard. Like, in terms of that's what this Premier League is missing, is players like that, like in the midfield. You need more of those, because you don't need to pigeonhole them or say, oh, they can only play left half space or right pivot or in a 2, can't play in a 1. Like, brother, just a midfielder. That's it. Just centre mid. Old-fashioned FIFA centre mid 4-4-2. That's it.
Yeah.
That's why you don't want Rodri going to Real Madrid, because you don't want a Jude Bellingham Rodri in the midfield. This is just a joke.
Yeah, that would be mad.
We need that. We need Rodri to do City, man. I mean, because I know we're talking about England, but Rodri performances, man.
We'll get onto that. We'll get onto that.
He can't wait. He can't wait. He loves Rodri so much. He's just like, yo, let me talk about Rodri right now. Anybody else got anything to say on England before we move on?
Tough game. Let's see. They should come out on top, but let's see.
I think Norway would be harder than Argentina, in my opinion.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I think so.
I think Norway are a good team. Then have Haaland up top to make it even worse. Whereas Argentina, I think they're heavily reliant on Messi. I think outside of Messi, they're not a really good functioning footballing side right now. They rely on moments, and if England come up against Argentina, I think England would beat them comfortably. But Norway, I'm more concerned about, because Norway can actually play.
Is there very quickly? Is there a small little thing about, because Haaland? You can see Haaland bullying Gay. Gay is not the biggest and strongest in the air. Who's his partner? Konza,
yeah.
Again, not the strongest in the air.
He was dodgy in the first half.
Yeah.
So what are the options? Is there a chance the big man gets a start just because of the Haaland factor?
Nah, because I've seen Dan Burn. He's mashed Dan Burn before. Dan Burn's perfect for him. He'll murder him. You need someone with a bit of intelligence, because I watch him every week. And when he's off his game, it's when someone's got a little bit of nous and they're getting at him a bit, they're niggling at him a bit, they're on his first touch, they're dragging him down off the ball, they're getting into his head a little bit. When he's like that, Haaland, and he loses it, that is when you've got a chance. When he's like he was the other night, when he's doing absolutely nothing, but he's not tangling with anyone, he's floating. When he's floating, you're fucked because he's waiting for that opportunity. And once he's got a run on you or a head start, you've seen it, you know. Gabriel loves it when Haaland tangles with him because Gabriel's in his mind. If you see Haaland and Gabriel fighting, then that Haaland's out of it. But when you see Haaland moving away from him, mate, I'm telling you, Haaland's a beast. People need to know about him. And like you say, he's playing for Norway, by the way. I'm not having any idea. Oh, yeah, he plays for Man City though, and he does that. Yeah, he's playing for Norway. Yeah, and technically Norway are not they're not a superpower. But this guy is a superpower. If you give him half a chance, it's in. And he's like I say, he didn't do nothing against Brazil. But as soon as the chance arrived, bang, it's in, and that's it. And then he's on it. England have got to be on it. Tuchel's got to think of a plan. And like you say, we're going to see with it. But yeah, it's going to be a mad one. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it'll be a good game. I don't agree with
having a potential Egypt, Switzerland in a semi as well.
You know what? The Argentina game, like Messi didn't even play well. Like there's probably been about 2 or 3 games this tourney where Messi hasn't even played well, and he still just delivers. Like he'll just score a crazy goal, or he'll just put the ball on a sixpence for an attacker. He's just ridiculous. But I do think like Argentina, they panned Egypt, man. I know Egypt had something for them on the break, but bro, if Argentina tuck away their chances, fam, Egypt are getting washed in that game. Washed. They had bare chances, bro. Bare.
I didn't see it like that. I don't know how you saw it.
They had bare chances, bro. They had like 20-something. They had like 20-something shots.
I thought Egypt were brilliant. They lost their rag. They're not, they lost their composure. And when Messi, and you said Messi didn't play well, I thought Messi, when they went 2-1, Messi went mad. I thought Messi was just like of course it's not his best game. We know that, but for how old he is and what physical level he's at, he went mad, man. And when Messi's in his element like that, many teams can freeze. And I thought Egypt froze. I thought their coaches froze. I thought there was no substitutions in terms of defensive, solidify it. I think they froze. But up to that point, I thought Egypt were a credit to their nation and the whole performance to the World Cup. It was a brilliant performance from Egypt up to that point.
I'm not even saying Egypt played bad, Grizz. I'm saying that like they tried. They put in a valiant performance, all things considered. I'm just saying that Argentina
pull out the World Cup heritage. They put we talk about it. They put
but I'm not talking about just World Cup heritage. I'm literally talking about the game. The game, they created like 5 times the opportunities that Egypt created. Like, bro, they panned Egypt on chances. They did. And as soon as they sniffed blood, bro, it was curtains.
Yeah, I mean, it was a game where I felt like Egypt on a different day could have easily won that game comfortably, but the game plan towards the end was ridiculous, especially when it went to 2-2 and then them throwing bodies up. I didn't understand it. It was almost like they just threw the game away.
It was 4 against 2 just before they scored.
Do you think they were robbed? Because this super chat here from Harsh is saying that if you don't think Egypt was robbed and that the World Cup is rigged for Argentina, then you're just being ignorant.
No, look,
Palestine.
Look, I'll be honest with you, innit? I think this whole rigged idea and this whole sort of, they're fixing the tournament, I think that's a little bit of a stretch. I think it's a bit childish, right? But what I do think definitely we can question and we've seen with our eyes is there is definitely a pattern of inconsistency in terms of the type of calls that Argentina are getting, what they're getting away with, and also when it almost feels like they're picking and choosing when to review things. Because if you look at across Argentina games, there has been questionable calls, and it just seems to be that they seem to always get the favorable side of things. It just comes across that way. If you look at the evidence, and I'm only basing it on the evidence of what I've seen, right? To say rigged and all that, I think is too far of a stretch because look, if you even look at this game, Argentina still had to score 3 goals. They still had to do a lot of work. Do Do you know what I mean? For them to do the comeback and, you know, to essentially go through. So to say it's rigged, it's a bit of a stretch. But what I can say 100%, and I do feel like it's almost undeniable, is there is definitely a pattern of inconsistency with Argentina, and they just seem to be getting away with a lot more than other nations are, and it's coming to the detriment of all these little smaller nations that have come against them. Yeah, I mean, if we want to be specific, we could talk about I don't think Salah's was a penny, by the way. I don't think that was a penny. I think that's a bit of a stretch. But I think the foul on Lisandro, I think, was soft. I think McAllister committed a foul, or should have at least been reviewed. Even if the referees decided it wasn't a foul in the end, it was worthy of a VAR check. They didn't get the VAR check, you know. And something similar happened with the Lisandro sort of situation in the Austria game where, you know, Austria were fouled and Messi ended up scoring on the other end. And that was never reviewed. So there is definitely an inconsistency. Like, you can't deny that. I feel like you're lying to yourself. It's not Messi hate. It's just what we are seeing with our eyes. You don't even need to be a Messi hater or Messi lover to see what you're seeing with your eyes. There is definitely a pattern. You know, it's the same type of pattern you probably see with Real Madrid and Champions League nights. Yeah. So it's comparison. It's definitely happening. It's definitely happening.
100%.
People are right to call it
it's
out.
happening.
I think what's happening is the noise is getting drowned out by people that are just throwing rigged and fixing, and they want Argentina. But what is definitely happening, and I feel like it's undeniable, it's definitely a pattern of inconsistency.
Spot on. I agree.
Yeah.
Quickly following up here, he goes on to say, go look up Argentina's genocide of indigenous and black people, fans doing monkey chants, players mocking African players, supporters of Zionism. How anyone can support them is crazy. I think when it comes to like support of Argentina, I think it's always kind of been wrapped around Messi. I think people wanting Messi wanting to like pick up the accolades that his football talent and ability deserves is not really necessarily a supporting of Argentina, the country. Is more Messi, the individual ability, and just platforming him. So that's what I think the support is coming from. And to be honest, now that he's won the World Cup, I don't really feel like anybody like cares as much as we did the first time. Do you know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So yeah,
I want them out.
Yeah,
bro. If they'd gone out to Egypt, that would have been great. England would have had an easier run.
I want England. If England come up, I want England to beat them. I want them out as well. Like,
because their fans have been a disgrace. Their fans have been a disgrace.
That's true.
I've seen some things like them throwing beer on like Cape Verde fans and all this stuff. So I don't know what stuff. Yeah, it's probably not
that's
the
whatever you do. Listen, whatever you do in life, don't slag tacos off. Because I've had half the Mexican mafia in my DMs this week. I'm getting buried alive with concrete boots because I slagged tacos off. Right? You know, somehow I've upset the culture by slagging tacos off, and calling them old El Paso or Gringo doesn't go down well either. Yeah. So we'll leave that there. Yeah. Well, they've ripped me apart all week in the DMs. What they're going to do to England, by the way. You're this, that, and the other. They've had the Queen off. They've slagged the Queen. They've had the Queen. Right? They've slagged everyone, and I've not said a word. And the second we win, and I go, "Yo, old El Paso. How's the tacos going?" Next minute, it's World War III.
How have you managed to beef the Mexicans? I've only seen Mexicans like hugging England fans. No, but in Mexico City,
and fuck off.
Lads,
in Mexico City, I've just seen Mexican fans like hugging England fans.
It's time to tick off Mexico off the bucket list. We ain't going.
I can't go Mexico. No chance.
We ain't going Mexico.
It's not happening for me.
That is not happening.
We did the El Paso sponsorship. That's what we need.
That's it, man. I'm bigging up the brand. I'm bigging up the brand.
It's funny because England, it's actually gone from England being the most hated to now Argentina. It's like the new hated team. Yeah, it used to be England though. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah.
Just quickly on this one, Anderson is running England's midfield without crowding out other players' roles. He's top class, and people do not understand how vital he is to England.
I think people are understanding now. They're understanding Anderson now.
The Mamouche fall-off needs to be studied. Horrible cup for him. If he makes the pass in transition after stealing the ball from Salah, they win. Do you know what? Obviously, we've spoken about like the top players that have had great World Cups, but there's been a lot of players that have not as well, like just under that level, like the Florian Wirtzes, the Mamouche, these guys, they've not had good World Cups at all.
Mamouche has had a terrible World Cup. Terrible.
He's had a terrible season, to be fair.
Yeah.
He's playing below his level, man.
He's not being. Listen, he needs to play, and we know that. but we don't know where to play him. Pep didn't know where to play him. We've tried him on the left, we've tried him on the right, we've played him up front, we've played him in the 10. He's just not part of our team. And whether Maresca's got something in mind for him, I don't know. But you know, he's a good player for someone. He deserves to be a number one for someone. You've seen it at Frankfurt, and like you say, whether someone comes in and gets him this summer, I don't think any City fan would lose sleep over it if we lost him. You know, I'd probably sell him, get good money for him.
Let's see. The big decisions isn't even what's annoyed me. The Argentine players were literally assaulting us and getting no yellows. The ref took all our momentum. What other game is obviously Spain, Portugal as well? Yeah, I mean, Grizz, you wanted to speak on Rodri, so go ahead.
My love for Rodri is weird. Like, obviously, he's a Man City fan, this and that, but I just think when we get into conversations about central midfielders or midfielders, wherever, I just think he's levels above. This guy's coming back from probably what's known as a career-threatening injury for most players, especially at his age. But to make the comeback he came, nearly get City back in the title when it looked lost. And then now, don't know about you lot, but I think Spain are just slowly. I know that was a mad game. It was a shit, you know, blah, blah, blah. There was a bit of a sport game. But I just think Rodri's levels above every midfielder in the world, man. That's my honest opinion. Now, you know, the day he leaves Man City is the day I'm going to celebrate so much, man, because he'll
be gone next season, free transfer.
Yeah.
It's the turning point. You know, then I'm going to really start doing the City are finished videos and get on Steve's nerves, because this guy's he's so good, man. I mean, the other players that we're going to mention, the midfielders that we've mentioned during the season, you know, the Neveses, the Vitinhas, and all this, blah, 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 Brunos and all this. This guy's levels above everyone, in my opinion.
Bro, it's so funny, because it's funny that you say this, because Rodri's playing at the level that he's played at for years. Of course, it's just the injury setback. He came back from injury.
Took time.
And took some time, but for some strange reason, certain people, there are some weird football fans who believe that when a player gets injured, that automatically just discounts what they've done before their injury. Like, let's not rate him the same way because he had a bad injury, even though you've not seen the player fully recover from his injury, you know?
Yeah. It was also fans, let's be honest. They were the ones.
No, it's not just Arsenal fans. It's Chelsea fans as well.
Yeah.
It's
Chelsea
Chelsea
fans. I remember
fans
Arsenal fans are doing it. I remember specifically Arsenal. Yeah.
Don came on here telling us Caicedo's snatching his chain and all this bullshit, bro. Just, yeah, I don't know, man. The disrespect is disgusting, bro.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
He always needed time to get back to his rhythm. And like you say, we didn't have the time. We threw him in the middle of a title race and basically said, look, you're going to have to sort of get us going, because we are a totally different team without him playing than when he is playing. So, I mean, Elliot Anderson, Rodri midfield, nice. Ryan Cherky in the 10, could work. Foden in the 10, don't know. But, you know, there's a reason why we've bought Elliot Anderson. And like you say, Rodri, I'm expecting him to go next season on a free.
Tchouameni, just a little side note about Man United, and we were talking about Tchouameni. Apparently, he's just about to sign a new deal at Real Madrid.
Yeah, not surprised. Not surprised.
Nah, it is a surprise if you're Saeed.
The way he's been going around today, even still, he believes that there's hope, and he's telling me, third tier journalist. I'm like, brother,
has he been doing the hate? Has he been doing the hate?
Yeah, bro, it's not happening, man. It's just not happening. Like, you need to start talking about Camavinga. That's the only one you're getting out of there. That's it. The rest of them they're not moving. Tchouameni, Valverde, Bellingham will be the midfield three.
Well, even the Edison one, Liban, they're saying there's going to be a thorough medical, and then they will see if they go through with the transfer. That doesn't bode too well.
Yeah, it doesn't. That's why that's what I was telling you earlier. I'm a little bit underwhelmed. You know,
that's why they've got Santos, I think, because I think they're going to pull out of the Edison deal.
I genuinely wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. You know, I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, I mean, it's still a long way to go in. And right now, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm, like I said, underwhelmed.
Would you have been interested in Onana at Aston Villa if he had not got injured?
Yeah. Now, I went to Onana 2 years ago when we were linked with him when he was at Everton. I thought he was a good player, right profile at the age he was. He was young, tall, physical, very technical on the ball. So he kind of fitted the profile at the time, but we ended up signing Ugarte. So you listen, listen, it is what it is. But yeah, like I mean, it's unfortunate what's happened with him, but I think he would have been. Even now, I would have signed him had it not been for this injury. I would have been, I would have minded that Onana right now, but. It is what it is. We're gonna have to wait and see. I honestly don't know what targets are realistic at this point. I don't even know what names are even being discussed. I have had Baleba, I've had Wharton. Again, these are 100 million plus players. Right now we're looking at the way the market is, so it's tough, man. I feel like we need to start looking at players maybe outside of the league, players that would maybe move to like a Brighton and then end up becoming a 100 million player anyway. Do you know what I mean? So I think we need to start doing a bit of that. So I don't know, man. It's tough, man.
You men are finished.
We're not finished, bro. Just look at this guy.
You men are finished, bro.
Look at this guy.
Never did I ever think I'd hear the day a Man United fan say, maybe we should sign the players that want to go Brighton and want to take the next year. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're
no, because but what's wrong with that? Sometimes you're better off.
No, but what's wrong with you being finished?
Like, we're not finished, though. We're not finished. Because we came to your ground and snatched 3 points.
Brother, you said the same thing. You said the same thing to Steve. This is what I'm saying, man. Sir Alex is a disappointed man right now, man.
Listen, you know what it is? Like I said, this guy, he's currently sitting on his throne. This is how they're going to behave all of next season. I'm letting you guys all know. This is how Turkish is going to behave until there's new winners next season. This is how he's going to behave.
There ain't going to be new winners next season, brother.
What are you saying? Back to back. I heard that from GRIZZ's people as well. I heard that from GRIZZ and his fan base last season. They said they were going back to back.
Yeah, but they don't know what they're talking about over there, man.
Yeah. So what happens? So if you don't go back to back, then what?
No, we are.
Are you defo? Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. There's no ifs, buts, maybes. Isn't that what James Redmond said? No ifs, buts, maybes. Yeah.
Okay. Say less. I just wanted to get that out of you too. I wanted to get that out of you.
Yeah. Say no more. Third again.
I don't know. I think we might go one more or two more. You never know. Higher. You never know.
Oh my goodness. Before I go back to super chats, did anybody see Ronaldo's comments after the loss?
What are you saying?
What did he say?
I'll be honest, that it was shameful. So sad. I mean, even the Portuguese people were onto him. It's like starting to now diminish the World Cup and say, "Oh, the Euros is just as big."
The guy's sour.
A lot of I've won this for Portugal. Before Portugal, they'd never won anything. I did this, I did that, I did this. I'm like, you are representing your country, bro. Like, I get you are the greatest player in Portugal's history and you've paved the way for Portuguese players to come after you, etc. But can you just speak representing the nation for once? Because if you're a Portuguese person, forget all of that right now. You've just gone out the World Cup. You've got that midfield. You've got even those defenders. Really, it's just the forward line that lacks something in terms of the quality, Leao, and the inconsistencies, João Felix, and obviously Ramos not starting after getting the goal in the previous game, but he's not, the be-all and end-all anyway. Like, the Portuguese people, I don't even think they're even trying to hear that. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, they're trying to hear, I don't know, trying to hear from a captain of Portugal right now. They're not trying to hear about Ronaldo's. It just feels like every single thing about Portugal is always centered around Ronaldo's career, what Ronaldo needs to win, what Ronaldo hasn't got, what Ronaldo needs to get done. And it's like, this is Portugal. Like, is Portugal some small nation now that just doesn't command any attention or respect outside of one player? It's crazy work. What he was saying after the game, honestly, I just thought it was poor,
Portugal
man.
Team was shit. Bruno Fernandes shit. Bernardo Silva shit. All of them. Mendes shit. They were all shit. But I backed him, thinking they were going to do something. But Saeed was always saying about the manager. We know the manager's not the greatest, but I think the Ronaldo thing, it was just embarrassing near the end where it just looked like he scored a few goals, but come on, he's not that guy anymore. And Messi's overshadowing him. And now, and like you say, the comments just stink of it's all about me and you should show me respect. He's got respect. What he's done in the game is massive. You know what I mean? He's a legend. He's had one of the best careers anyone could possibly have. But you've got to know when to call it a day. It's all right running around with a six-pack and telling everyone how fit you are, but if the football's gone, it's gone. You know what I mean? Sometimes he looked like a passenger to me, And if he's the guiding light for the generation of Portuguese, he's the one that should be saying, you know what, leave me on the bench. Leave me on the bench. Give someone else a chance. Let me come on last 20. I'll show you what I can do or whatever. But he's not. And like you say, I think this is his last tournament. And you know, I don't give a shit about Ronaldo. He played for them, but seeing him crying is always good. It's always a good feeling.
No, but you know, I disagree with both of you. You know, low key a little bit, because I think there is a little bit of a media sort of witch hunt against him, and it was from the beginning of the tournament. I think like the treatment towards Ronaldo in comparison to everyone else is always a little bit different. Of course, that's a given because of who he is, but little things like, for example, obviously Mbappe scored goals against Iraq, Haaland scored against Iraq, you know, like, but when Ronaldo scores against Uzbekistan, you know, Messi scored against Jordan.
Yeah, but they didn't come out and said, I'm back.
Yeah, but the thing is,
not by the way, Portugal's back. I'm back. No, fuck Portugal. I'm back. Do you know what I'm saying? This is the point.
It, but that's an emotional reaction to all the.
Yeah, but then he needs to come offline more. No, because other players, way less talent, way less accolades, way less achievements. When they're getting dragged by the media, we know Bellingham's been dragged by the media, etc. They don't say anything. Ronaldo, at his big age, 41, he shouldn't need to say. He doesn't need to clap back.
But Matisse, you know what it is?
He's Ronaldo, bro.
But you know what it is? Do you know what it is, Matisse? It's even in press conferences, the interviews, it's like everything is about. It's almost like they're trying to make it about him, as if it's a one-man team, and I feel like that's what's probably frustrated him, maybe the team, maybe that's why there's tension between them. I just think the treatment towards Ronaldo is ridiculous given how Portugal performed.
But don't you think in the way he talks, he brings that on himself? Don't you think? If he put out more of a team persona, and even when he's on the pitch, instead of kind of like blaming teammates around him, going up to some of the youngsters after the game, console them, if he had more of a team ethic kind of vibe about him on the pitch, don't you think that kind of stuff would be negated?
I think he did. I think he did, Matisse. I genuinely think it did. If you actually listen to like the press conference before games, and if you look at his body language when he's talking to, I think he did. I just think there's a lot of tension between, you know, of course, like maybe certain players, maybe there's certain relationships, maybe that's not going on. Again, the manager has a big play in that as well. I just think in terms of, if everybody performed well, if Vitinha played at the level he played for PSG this season, Bruno's the record Premier League assist holder now. If he was playing at that level, and João Neves, Mendes, and all these players, if they were playing at the level that we know that they can play for their club, if they were doing that for Portugal, and Ronaldo wasn't performing to a respectable standard, then I can understand the criticism. I can understand the noise regarding Ronaldo. But they're all stinking it up. So why is it only we're focusing on one man when the whole team is stinking? Like Bruno was stinky the whole tournament. Vitinha was too passive the entire period. The work rate wasn't there. He was getting run past like he wasn't even there. João Neves wasn't up to the standard. The attackers, from when João Felix, who's playing in Saudi, is the best wide attacking option you have, there is a problem. There is a structural problem with that team. You know, there was just no desire. There was no aggression, no desire to win this tournament. You look at the names that they have on the pitch, it's almost like they didn't want to win. They were so passive, even in the Spain game, passing it sideways. How many forward passes did he actually play in that game? So the attention to just be on Ronaldo is ridiculous when the ball is not even moving forward. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I think, that's where the frustration is for Ronaldo. Sometimes he feels like he has to defend himself because the noise becomes a little bit of too much. It's almost like logic just leaves, you know, with Ronaldo. So I just think, you know, listen, I think he's done what he could do, but I don't think the team helped him in some ways. But yes, maybe he could have helped himself in terms of how he managed the criticism and whatnot. But can you blame him, really and truly, when everyone's talking about, oh, he scored 2 goals against Uzbekistan, but they didn't have that energy towards anyone else when everybody was scoring against the small nations? So it's that treatment that I can understand where his frustration probably come from.
Yeah, but if his own like colleagues are look at Messi's people, right? They're there for him, right? I think it comes down to character. I agree. I think Ronaldo's character has caught up to him, because when you're in your 20s, early 30s, doing what he was doing with that character, you're an inspiration, you're a motivation. Look at him, he's a beast. He is the man. When you're in the age he's at now, a lot of these young players are probably looking at it like, instead of being our guide through this, you're the dark cloud in every tournament now. So that plays a big part in the football you're seeing, because whether it's this team or the last 2 teams, they've had a much better side than what we've seen on the pitch. It's just it feels like the younger players are just not there for Ronaldo, nor should they be there for Ronaldo. But the fact he is there, it's all about him. So they've got to be, but they're not. So it's just a cycle. So I think the best thing that can happen to them is the Ronaldo doesn't, show up at the next tournament and see how they fare.
Yeah. Did you guys see the Charisma interview? Him and
No.
Ruben Diaz. Yeah, he was cooking. He was cooking him. Absolutely cooking Ruben Diaz. Just telling them like the team were poor, like no desire. You guys are not really. You don't want to win this. You don't have it in you. You don't want it as much as you think you do. You think you're the best generation in Portugal history, and you haven't shown anything for it. Like he was absolutely cooking Ruben Diaz. It was actually a little bit awkward, but listen, Portugal it's a sad story, innit? I think it's a sad story. I think it's a sad ending for Ronaldo. I think he could have done more. I think he maybe could have changed his role. I think he could have dropped his ego a little bit. But I don't think anyone can walk away from that tournament. Any Portuguese player can walk away from the tournament saying they done well. No one, not a single one of them. So it's a whole team problem rather than just a Ronaldo problem, in my opinion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's see. I mean, obviously he retired right from the national team, so hopefully, I mean, now it's all on them. Let's see how they respond to the next tournament in Portugal.
Is he officially retired? Yeah. Is he officially?
I think he did, didn't he?
I
think that's what I saw.
I don't know.
I didn't see those words.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was just reports. I heard his family member came out and said that it will be his last one, but let's see. Maybe it's just his last World Cup. Maybe that's what I'm hearing. Not actually last competition. All right, cool. What else have we got to get through? Let me see. Let's go through these. Ronaldo's washed, but I'm not sure how that midfield three of Bruno, Neves, and Vitinha, who are all in their prime, can't carry their team. They were bigger disappointments than the coach and Ronaldo. I don't think Martinez can get away with this because that's a second talented group on the international stage that he's basically not been able to deliver anything for. So there's definitely something spooky going on with Martinez. Obviously, he's now being relieved of his duties as well. So they need to go and get someone else in, man. But who is that person? Who is that person? I don't agree with CR7 that they weren't even consistently qualifying for World Cup before him. He'd done well to even win the Euros, and there's a lot of revisionism on his career, which is why he's lashing out.
He didn't even play well in the Euros to begin with. But
and how highly are we ranking that Nations League? Because I personally don't give a damn about that. That's like the international equivalent of a Carabao Cup, no? At best. If we're being honest, Liban, you can stop me if I'm wrong, but let's be honest, that shit was just created the other day, no?
Yeah, I mean, one Copa America equals two nation leagues. That's how I look at it. That's the equation. One Copa America is equal to 2 nation leagues. So if you win 2, that's 1 Copa America still.
You're even being nice, so I'd say probably 2.
Who gave you that maths?
That's the maths I came up with, man. Because look, you know, Copa America was only like, what was it? 8 teams? Was it 10 teams? And then 2 invited guests. So they used to invite teams like Japan to come compete and UAE and whatnot. That wasn't a serious tournament like a decade ago. But listen, I'm not trying to knock continental tournaments in it. So it is what it is. Yeah.
This one here saying, to be fair, the media has only been talking about Ronaldo and mentioned him. Also, Xavi and Iniesta both said the Euros is much harder to win than the World Cup. Is it harder to win?
You think so?
I don't really see how it could be.
Maybe they're talking from a personal experience, isn't it? But to be fair, Xavi and Iniesta, they come from a tough era of football, bro. Like maybe the era now is a lot more different, but they came from where there was like eight competing nations. You know, so it's different. Yeah.
There's so many times Ronaldo tried to make runs and his legs just wouldn't agree. He stayed too long. Ramos has 4 more World Cup goals than him and should have played more.
That's the final straw that broke the camel's back was when he didn't bring on Ramos when they needed a goal in that last game. When Ramos scored that goal in the previous game, that's just self-sabotaging, man. In my opinion, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't have the bottle to make big decisions at the end of the day. Didn't. That's his biggest problem. Not even bringing him off the bench is mad when you need a goal.
Mad.
Who are United going to sing now after Tchouaméni signing a new contract? Or is it Santos and Ederson? Mad.
I don't know. I don't know, bro. I feel like we've answered this question like 5 times.
Right, there's no one there. There's no one there.
Yeah.
Why is no one talking about what Golden Boy Messi done to Cape Verde goalkeeper? If Ronaldo had done that, we would have never have heard the end of it. What did he do?
Yeah.
Fuck all, it's bullshit. Someone put a fake story out that he said some mad shit to him, which is just, if you believe that, you're absolutely fucking deluded. So, and it was just fake. So you've been conned.
Interesting. I haven't even seen it, so to be fair, you'd think the refs scored 3 goals versus Egypt. You can't rig it as hard. You can rig it as hard as you want, but can't rig conceded 3 open play goals in 13 minutes. Also, when Messi didn't win, equals national disgrace. Now he wins it. It's rigged. Yeah, I think people forget how much criticism Messi was getting when Argentina wasn't winning these trophies on an international level. He was getting dragged.
He retired, didn't he?
Especially online. Yeah, he even retired. Yeah. What did he retire? What was it? Age 32?
It was at 2017. How old is he? How old is he then? About 9 years ago? 30.
So
Wasn't it 2018 that he
not sure
retired
what
after
year it
that?
was.
Yes, something like that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. 29.
Yeah.
On United versus Big Six teams last season, this is just one from earlier. Beat City during a 4-game winless run. Liverpool were 3 wins in 10, Chelsea 2 wins in 13, Arsenal with 3 goals from a 0.7 XG, and Spurs had 15 games winless. Timing. I think it's just I don't know. I think 1 game a week, man. Let's see what they're doing with 2. That's how I'd say it.
Batiste, we stopped Royals, by the way, yeah. So you're doing the 1 game a week next season.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So I mean, I've got a competent manager for the whole season. Except half a season, so it's even more pressure on me. So yeah,
is he really competent? I mean,
he's more competent than Liam Rossini. Yeah, but we all know what's going on at Real Madrid, man. That's a whole different ball game over there. They had to bring Mourinho back from the deep depths to recover that sinking ship over there with the politics and all the egos and whatnot. So I'm just going off by Leverkusen, bro. I'll be honest, and I'm going off the fact that I had Liam Rossini a few months ago. So I've had an upgrade for sure on that. Norway's much more than Haaland. Odegaard controls the game, while Nusa Bob was good as well, to be fair. Add the pace, creativity. Their biggest strength is squad depth. Best player for me was Erling.
Excluding Erling.
England,
excluding.
100%.
Oh yeah.
Now that's
England need to be
that's a
careful.
Manchester United signing if I've ever seen one. Sanderberg. 100%.
Do you not rate him, Steve?
Not for Man United, no. This is what people don't understand what I'm saying. But that's the kind of level they'll go for. Someone had a good tournament. Oh, we get Sanderberg. It's just rinse and repeat. It's not good enough.
You should be our director. You should be.
I was just gonna say,
if I was director, man,
you know what it is. I would hire you. I would hire you, Steve. I'm not gonna lie.
We'll be winning the league, man. But they think I'm hating. But I've just got standards and high thoughts for my neighbours. You know what I mean? You got to love your neighbour. You could be our new Omar Barada. Jump ship. Yeah, he was a City boy, wasn't he? You know what I mean? He used to go down and get the coffees and that. Yeah. That's the plan. That's the plan.
Mr. Perfecto says, I think top teams get bias and it's happening forever in World Cups. I wish people could see the problem being money in football instead, not saw division between cultures. I don't know, man. Like, as much as I do feel for Egypt a little bit, they did concede that stupid first goal, man. Like, you got Mark Romero in the air. What's going on there? The guy just, he wasn't even touched tight. He just left him like a guard to just get a free header. Like, if you're going to be making errors like that, you are going to allow Argentina to get back in and create momentum for themselves. You've got to defend that situation. You have to. You're 2-0 up. They could have been 3-0 up, to be fair, but you get 2-0 up. Don't even allow any fine margins to come into play. So you just clear cut dead the win. And that doesn't happen. So I don't know, man. It's just a tough one because I feel like that first goal was a joke to concede. But yeah, let's see. Right, we're gonna. I think there's not many more. Is there anything else we haven't covered? Turkish? Anything else that you want to touch in on? Transfer news? Is there any other transfer news business that I've missed? People?
All we've done is Bruno. Well, that's the only thing we're linked to. But yeah, I think we've covered the transfer stuff.
Yeah, none of your other clubs have done anything, have they? Liverpool. What's going on, Grizz? What you man sleeping over there? You're not going to do no business, Grizz?
relaxing, innit, brother? Look at the weather.
That's not
outside.
relaxing, brother. You need to recover from your season. No, did you not just have a? Where'd you finish? 6th.
You can't be working hard in this weather. Bro.
Mm.
Let the weather cool down a little bit, man. You can't be. You know what I mean?
The chat was saying the Paraguay France game with Mbappe, the whole situation, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Who's that?
We don't need to give that airtime, man.
Yeah.
We don't need to give that airtime.
Yeah.
I think that's quite cut and dry, isn't it? I can't lie.
Yeah.
I've never seen such nonsense in my life.
How about the Mr. Trump saying, yeah, our boy's playing. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
You know what? Just to end the show, Infantino is a big dickhead. He is a big dickhead. Man.
No, I agree. I agree, bro. I think he's a puppet.
He's just a big prick. Like, you know, on a human level, you know he's a prick. Like, he just. So yeah,
Is this for the Trump thing on the Balogun overturn?
No, just over time.
Just everything. Just everything.
Oh yeah.
Like, do you remember the whole I feel this, I feel that before Qatar?
Yeah.
The peace prize to fucking Trump. Now this thing here. Like, he's a real dickhead, the guy, man.
Yeah.
I thought Sepp Blatter was bad, but bring Blatter back if this is what we've got left in us.
I agree, bro. I can't lie to you. It's getting dark. Even the prices and everything. Look, Steve just said he's putting a fortune on those tickets. Like, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy. Yeah.
Disgusting. I would have actually joined Steve out there if it was a decent price. But come on, man, that's madness.
The flights have gone up. Joke. Anywhere to stay. Joke. You're looking at a $6,000 trip without even eating anything or drinking anything for a semi-final. And it's mad. I went to the Euros, and that was like the final of the Euros was $1,000, and this is a semi-final at $3,000 dollars. Joke.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, it's nonsense. It's absolute nonsense.
Yeah, it's becoming a money scheme now, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is, man.
Yeah,
of course it is. Did this guy do all the super chats? Yeah, I believe. Did he do it?
I don't know, man. He kept saying, "Is there more? Is there more?" I can see loads.
He
can't see shit.
Yeah, he can't see there, man. Let me.
But he's going to see shit, man. Like...
Did this one get read? 34-year-old Neymar took a youngster's spot, played worse than CR7, scored a penalty, mocked the goalkeeper while his nation are losing, but zero criticism by the media and fans.
Skip this.
Well, that's it.
Steve wants in, man. Steve wants in.
Skip it.
I don't have to say anything.
Neymar don't choose the team. This is Carlo Ancelotti.
Hold on a minute. You was a big canvasser. You had your Brazil swimming trunks on, twerking for this bastard to go to the World Cup. Yeah, he did fuck off. Simple as that. Like I told you he was going to do.
Okay, but how does that change my statement? That doesn't make my statement wrong. This guy said in the super chat.
You said he deserved to go. He deserved to go to the World Cup. I said Brazil need to move on. We've just slagged Portugal off for having a 41-year-old Ronaldo playing, saying that Portugal need to move on. But you were twerking for Neymar to turn up for Brazil.
Well, yeah, because Neymar is still one of the best players to come out of Brazil in recent time. And if you watch that Brazil team all tournament, they were missing something. Right, we're not talking about a player.
You were missing the big sixes striker of the season, fucking Thiago, who's better than Haaland.
That's right. Please,
I'm in your camp with that one.
Me with that one, I know that, but I'm saying some people made some shocking statements ahead of this World Cup. They're not being brought to court for it.
I'll be real. The Neymar thing, it was sentimental because I wanted him to go out and get something. Because that's the thing for someone who's carried Brazil on his back for years. He's never won anything of like real significance with them apart from the Olympics. So I wanted him to get something and I needed the team to carry him and they didn't do it. So it's sad.
Jenna also adds, I hope the criticism of Vinny can end now. This is the best Brazil team in years and they're still shit. Fans expect too much when Neymar didn't win for Brazil.
Is this the best Brazil team in years? That's bullshit. Utter bullshit. Look at their fullbacks. Look at their midfield. What do you mean this is the best Brazil team in years? Look at their striker. Come on, man.
I think he's trying to say it's the best Brazil team under like in Vinny's era. Like he's trying to say the quality difference that Neymar had. I think that's what he's trying to say. I might be wrong.
The Brazil team 4 years ago is better than this team.
I agree. I think the Qatar one was definitely a bit better still. Or probably much better actually.
Just Buffett on United says getting the money spenders was was cope because we always won. In the Fergie era, we were only the highest transfer window spenders 3 times. Turk, with Arsenal players doing extremely well in the World Cup and potentially concerns of injuries, what transfers do we need to retain the title? I mean, we've talked through all of that now. You know, if Bruno's true, but a left winger and another attacker, that would be sweet. Naz says Egypt played well on the counter, had to be 3-up, but got their goal wrongfully disallowed. At the end, Egypt player's shirt got ripped up in the box.
You try to talk about the foul on McAllister, innit?
Yeah. I agree with you. That should have been reviewed. Nico says, obvious favoritism the whole tournament yet again. No surprise coming from the person who benefited from their team paying refs for over a decade. And Aryan says, don't know if it's been spoken on, but the Ben Jacobs tweet about Ederson almost confirms to me something's up and that deal's going to fall apart.
Yeah, I mentioned that.
Yeah, there was a random account that said it last night. Saeed was all over him.
Saeed just sees itchy.
Oh yeah, I see that. Saeed went for that journalist. If that comes true, Saeed's got to apologize publicly. Saeed, if you're watching, you got to do a video publicly apologizing to that guy because you got him trounced on Twitter.
Jason says the best way to stop Haaland is actually to not really care about Haaland. Stop service going into him is the best way to stop him. Yeah, it's easier said than done as well.
You know he's going to get one as the game goes on. One chance is coming, and that's
one sniff.
That's it.
Steve, did you enjoy the fight between Bernardo and Rodri at the end? Bernardo is such a shithouse.
I don't mind a bit of that. I mean, Rodri give it him because he missed. I think it was a bit of relief, and I think Rodri probably thought he knew him that well. He could probably get away with it, not really assessing the moment and where they was. Bernardo wanted to scrap. And then once Rodri gave him a clip around the ear hole, he just moved on. But yeah, I don't mind a bit of that, me.
No, need that. Watch the Austria match when Argentina scored, says Ricky. Why didn't they go back to the foul on Lema? It's not rigged, but it's definitely not consistent.
That's what LIBAN was saying.
Exactly what he said. Big up Mr. Perfecto. Both Egypt and Argentina have a history of anti-black xenophobia. Egypt towards sub-Saharan Africans, etc. People need to stop allowing emotion to brush a whole country based on a minority of individuals. Big up Perfecto. Irate Genius says, I hope you all sat Saeed TV down and taught him the error of his ways, or at least check for a concussion. Vitinha Neves matching Xavi and Iniesta. Insane.
He said that, yeah?
This is a lot of things, brother.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah.
He said, if they continue at the rate they're going, we can have a conversation. That's what he said. Nonsense.
Yeah. Crazy.
Nonsense.
Crazy.
Where United will lose me is if they spend 50 M's on Leao. Dusty Baller watched a lot of Milan's Pulisic been two times the player for 3 years. Let someone else get scammed on him.
100%. Leao, potentially, and that's such a big thing, yeah. Physically, he's got everything that you'd want except any passion for the game and heart.
I think he's playing in the wrong position. I think he should be a striker. He was a striker earlier on in his career.
He's got everything that you'd think, wow, look at this guy. He's got pace, height, strength, physique, skill. He just look at his career, man.
It sounds like Rashford.
Yeah, that's a great
because he's a Portuguese. I call him the Portuguese Rashford because he's a moments player. He's not a player that will be consistent across 90 minutes. He will give you moments. Maybe every 3 games, 5 games, he might give you 1 or 2 good games. But yeah, I don't see him being a consistent performer. That's the reason why he wasn't starting for Portugal. If you can't even cement the left hand side, then it's a problem.
I think there's a player waiting to be unearthed there, man. I'm sorry. There's an X Factor player.
He is X Factor player.
Something needs to change. Someone will take a punt on him.
I hope it's us. I hope it's us.
Oh, that's where you're going with this. I
hope it's us.
I see you, Pastor. I see you.
Evo says, all love, Matisse, but you're trying to read super chats is what I'd imagine it would be like if Agate attempted an around the world.
That's crazy.
Pretty good. Analysis.
Steve.
Oh, what happened?
Well, did you remove Turkish?
Oh shit. Fair enough, Matisse.
Do you know how
Yo,
many?
I'm legally blind. I don't want to read super chats.
Do you know how many
respectfully.
he missed? He just stopped doing them.
I'm literally, I'm the blindest person on this panel. Yeah?
There were
And you got me.
21
And, hold on a
super chats
second.
still
Hold on a
left.
second.
And he was going,
Hold on.
I don't think there's any more super chats. And
I'm
I'm
the blindest person here. I have literally the thickest lenses on YouTube, and you man have got me squinting on a screen for 2 hours. Like, allow it, bro. The rest of you can read. From now on, Big Steve, you're reading. Grizz, you're reading. Yeah? You man ready to read? Start reading, bruv.
Big up Evo. That is a classic super chat. Just J Stop says Messi spent his whole career being criticized because he hadn't won the World Cup. Now he's won it, he's hated more. Being great is a gift and a curse. Josh says Saeed gassed up last stream that United was sending people over to get started on the Tchouaméni deal just for him to sign a new contract, which has been announced from Fabrizio. I know people are going mad in the chat, but we mentioned Tchouaméni earlier. One Mad says Argentina's 5 pens in 7 games 2022 World Cup, the most any team has received across a tournament. Lead the way again in 2026 with 3 penalties awarded. Make of it what you will. Is the right word at the end. But big up, Messi was getting dragged rightfully with Argentina after losing 4 finals because he played bad in all of those and missed 2 penalties against Chile. I remember that. Sem says, I rate TOBS, but saying that bullshit about CR7 in 2016 with a trash team. 2 clutch goals, Wales as well. The Copa not valid for Messi. Di Maria won them.
Utter nonsense. We watched the games, brother. I watched that Euro 16. He was absolutely terrible in practically all of their knockout games, apart from the one against Wales. Not saying that he didn't do anything. I'm saying that he himself did not win that trophy for Portugal. It was a team effort.
Cool guy. Big up the members, City fan. Big up the panel. Look forward to seeing more videos of your trip to Canada soon. The vlog should be out real soon, people. I haven't got a date for it, but it should be real soon. Subscribe and you'll know when. Naz adds, also Messi himself said in the past that Copa America was rigged after losing the semi to Brazil, mentioning that they didn't get a penalty and VAR was bad. Everyone talks about VAR and things now, innit? It's just football. Speedy says, how woefully average is Tyler Adams? The USA fans watch the matches blindfolded. Tillerman's top player.
I agree. I think he's so basic. Honestly,
He's average. Yeah, and I can't believe he's linked with top teams as well. I can't believe that. I think he's average as well. Yeah,
we almost signed him. Fucking
hell. On someone you signed once upon a time. Just Waffling says, not sure if the panel cares, but we have to mention the Pulisic stinker at the World Cup. So many YouTubers were afraid to be honest about this guy because of audience. Good player, very overhyped.
I remember when TOBS was on Fox New York twerking for this guy on TV.
Twerking? I was playing up. You call it twerking, I call it playing up for the cameras, yeah?
That made me sick.
Big man melted over here.
You know, I've been
telling
you lot for ages on this show, this guy is dead food.
Why didn't you tell New York that?
I'll tell them now. I'll tell them tomorrow. I'll tell them tomorrow. You want me to record it for you? I'll tell them tomorrow.
I can't believe you went over there and capped in front of the nation. It's so dark.
He knows it as well. All right, last one here from Jason. Big up, Jason. That Paraguay woman is a disgrace, what she said about Mbappe. But cry me a river the way people are complaining about how the Paraguay team approached that game. What did people expect? Well, not that. Approaching a game, approaching a football game like that, and what she said after is two completely different fucking things completely. But yeah, all right, cool. That's the super chat's actually done. It's easy. You're gonna make sure?
Yeah, it's done.
So on that note, go on, you wrap it up. I thought I was hosting for a sec.
So guys, love for the love. We will see you for the next mob, which I think is tomorrow, right? The quarterfinals start, which I think our panel will be myself, Fuad, and Grizz. Grizz, you on tomorrow? You there tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
You coming? You turning up? You coming for us? Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
I might turn up early because I won't talk up.
And then the big one on Saturday.
Are you excited, Steve? Yeah.
Steve in the house.
Steve's excited. Yeah, Steve's there for England.
I might get my face painted. Fuck it.
No, you should.
Fuck it,
Oh,
why not?
dear. Yeah, that would
Why
be
not?
class to be fair. So yeah, England Norway's the big one, of course, that we're looking
I
forward
might have to put a Norway flag on my face and have my England shirt on, though, you know, because of the big
Steve, it's a
mate.
win-win for you. It's a win-win because if Erling goes to a semi-final of the World Cup, mate, you're living.
No, I want him to get beat. I've already messaged him and told him he's getting it. So it is what it is.
Fair
I'm
enough.
looking forward to Morocco France. You know, people. I think
Yeah, that's a
Morocco
big one.
France is gonna be so tasty.
Interesting.
I've got
And obviously
Morocco
you're
in the
Argentina.
sweepstake. I only had one goal of
Oh,
the
there's
sweepstake. and I
strikers
got
missing
Morocco.
though. There's strikers missing though, innit?
Sabari
Sabari.
is injured. Yeah,
The guy that's been banging in goals.
Oh,
Yeah.
no chance.
Rahimi scored though, no, didn't he?
No
Yeah.
chance. Without him. No, that's
Raheem,
that
yeah.
Sabiri is a bad boy. No chance without him.
Nah, they got good players. They got good players on the bench.
Ah, he's
Talbi,
a beast.
Rahimi.
Liban, he's
Yeah.
a beast.
Nah, he's a solid player, to be fair. Yeah.
Actually, well, we do quick predictions because some people in the chat are asking for predictions. May as well do them quickly. Steve, what are you saying for England, Norway?
I'm saying 2-1 England after extra time.
What are you saying, Liban?
I'm saying 2-1 England, but probably normal time, I'd say. Yeah. Normal time.
What about you, Grizz?
2-0 England.
Yeah, Tobes as well?
Agree with Liban. 2-1, normal time.
And Turkish?
2-2.
Lord, he's doing his 2-2.
Oh, you well, and then Norway to go through?
Nah, England on pens.
Okay, fair.
Okay.
England always have a penalty shootout, man.
Yeah, I know that. That's what I was worried about.
Yeah, his heritage. He hasn't been
Handle a penalty shootout on a mob watch along.
Imagine.
Does everybody here expect it to be France, Spain, England, Argentina semi-finals?
Who do Spain have now?
Spain have Belgium.
Yeah, Spain will beat Belgium.
Argentina have Switzerland.
Yeah.
And France. Yeah.
I expect. Yeah. Yes.
No, nobody disagrees with that four.
No, I think France and Morocco have the chance. Like, they're the two potentials. Like, something could happen in one of those two games.
Only if that striker was playing, that would have been a tasty game. I know everyone's got France clear favourites, but Morocco can ball, man.
It's still gonna be a tasty game.
It is, yeah.
All right, well, let's see what happens, people. Like I said, covering all four of those games on the mob, so look out for the watch-alongs. Subscribe, notifications on. Half an hour before each kickoff, as always. And yeah, we will see you for all of those watch-alongs. Until next time, big up your damn selves in a bit, people.
Come on.
Peace.